to Level Sync, a Final Fantasy XI podcast with your hosts, DA Soccer, Lost Time Lord, and Quetch.
Hey everybody, Future Quetch here. I'm finishing editing the episode and about to export it, and I realized we buried the lead a little too hard on the Treasures of Aht Urghan release date announcement that we did get from the devs. It is in fact releasing on August 7th. That's less than a month away at this point. And I just wanted to put that here at the beginning of the show because we don't get into it until about halfway. But we have a really good talk about Gather Together, and then we move into the release date announcement and everything that comes along with that. But anyway, looking forward to seeing you guys in Treasures. We also mentioned not having another episode until that releases, but I think we will have something shortly before Treasures drops as well, in addition to a post-Treasures episode, obviously a post-Treasures episode. But yeah, thanks for enjoying the podcast. Don't forget to leave a like if you're on YouTube, and subscribe to the channel if you haven't, and leave us maybe a review or something on Spotify/whatnot. Anyway, on to the actual episode. Bye. Hello, everybody, and welcome back to Level Sync, a Final Fantasy XI podcast. Today, we are going to be talking about the trip to Chicago that we just took, the Gather Together event that we've been talking about on the podcast for quite a while now, run partly by DA himself, my fellow podcast host here. Additionally, we're going to be talking about potentially the most important news you've heard for Horizon this year.
This quarter.
Half decade. In quite a while for Horizon, and we will get to that as well. And but before we do, I'm going to go ahead and introduce your hosts for this episode. We have let's start up here. We have the Las Vegas of Final Fantasy XI, DA Soccer. DA, how are you?
I'm doing all right. I am 6 feet up and still kicking. 6 feet up instead of 6 feet under. Buried.
Yeah.
Buried. They bury you.
But
6
like
feet
when
down.
I think 6 feet up, that means you're.
God, you're just like my ex. My ex does the same thing. I'm 6 foot and I'm above ground.
Oh, because you're 6 foot tall. Now I'm with it.
Yeah.
Right,
he's riding high, Quetch.
Yeah.
And next to DA, we have the East Coast of Final Fantasy XI, Druin. Welcome back, Druin. How are you?
I'm good. I'm glad to be here. I appreciate you guys having me back.
Yeah, so Druin, I'm clearly filling in for LTL tonight due to some concerns with LTL's. One of his dogs was having trouble, but we wanted to get this episode out, so we pulled in a pinch hitter. And, of course, myself, Quetch, the Chicago of Final Fantasy XI. I'm going to be honest with you, these weren't totally thought out, but they were, and /are, the Gather Together locations that we have gone to or are going to be going to. So I'm not sure where to kick this thing off. I guess I'll introduce the fact that we were all in the same Airbnb together. We can start there.
We were. Yeah. We all went to Chicago. We all went to Gather Together.
Yeah.
7 people. 3 cars, 1 parking spot.
It's true, dude.
It was
brutal, actually.
Thanos got the parking spot and didn't move the entire weekend. And I can understand because he doesn't like driving in Chicago. I felt comfortable. So I was carpooling people around. I mean, I got a little clip. In fact, I'll send you the clip if you want to be able to put that in. It's like 10 seconds of them just passed out in the back of my car and just leaning against the window out. They were gone.
When was that?
But it was a good time. When I had to take Blondie and Kat to Kat's grandmother's house about 45 miles outside Chicago, dropped them off. And then after I dropped them off, I'm coming back and they were
just knocked.
They were just gone. Gone. So I got a video driving down the interstate, 2 a.m. Chicago, with 2 people just dead in my car. So it was good.
Yeah, so what I've written down is basically the order of kind of the events that happened. And I'm kind of wondering if that's where we should start, or if I don't know what to say. Like compared to Vegas is a good place to start.
Yeah. Well, compared to Vegas, what do you guys think?
I can tell you, I wasn't at Vegas, so I can give you like the. I don't have a comparison take, right?
Okay.
I was just. I had a great time. I don't know what to tell you. Like, I mean, we showed up. We met together to play like a bunch of Magic immediately. That was a great time. Someone got a parking ticket instantly.
Oh yeah. Okay. We'll get into that.
Shit on
we gotta get into that.
Yeah, basically. Yes, somebody did. Somebody named Soccer.
Yeah. I show up. I was supposed to leave my place at 1 a.m. to be there an hour before Solo Wolf's train arrived in downtown Chicago, and I couldn't. I was trying to get my sleep schedule managed. I couldn't do it, so I left at like 9 p.m. instead of 1 a.m. So I was like, I'm just gonna go slow, set the cruise control at 65, 5 miles per hour, the speed limit, rode that right-hand lane all the way up. Still got there way too damn early. I got lost in a underground, like I parked and I couldn't find my way out. I couldn't find a restroom, so I peed in a bottle, and I left that there. I got a picture. We're not putting that on the stream, but I got a photo of it.
You got a photo of what?
Me peeing like a bottle that I peed in. It was a joke. Okay, it was a joke from Vegas when I was thirsty. Hold on, we were playing beer pong in Vegas. And I was a little tipsy and I needed some hydration. Hugan leaned over with a bottle of water and said, "Here you go." And as I'm taking the cap off, I think it was Rain or somebody leaned over and was like, "That is spicy water. That's not actually water." I smelt it. It was straight vodka. So I sent him the photo of my pee bottle and I said, "Hey, it's fresh." He goes, "It's not my color." I said, "But the bubbles mean it's just produced just now." And he was like, "Not my taste." So that was why I made the pee bottle, and I couldn't find my way out of the garage. Anyways, I step outside just to chill, and a bird shits on me. Immediately shits on me. A big old pigeon shit right on my shoulder. And again, I'll put the photo in there and be able to send it to you. But
yeah,
it was. I stepped outside, got shit on. It was great. I mean, it's good luck.
Chicago was very welcoming.
It was. It was.
I'm just glad you recovered that pee in the bottle picture. Comment, because that I didn't feel like was recoverable, but you got there.
Hey, yeah, you know, I usually don't recover shit, so thank you.
But yeah, in terms of Vegas, I mean, so we stayed in a city this time, and I mentioned the Airbnb, which was our sort of method of, staying there affordably. And Vegas was in a hotel. We were all centralized. This was a little bit more spread out, and I think we'll get into what the effects were of that as we go. It was a great trip. Everybody had a great time. I honestly, man, some good moments, a lot of sharing in the Discord and stuff like that. Let's go ahead and get started with just like the days, how the days went. So travel, I drove in with GM Dave, friend of the show. He's actually not been on this, but he's been a moderator for my streams and on my streams, and everybody. I feel like Drew, and I feel like everybody knows Dave, and then like I start talking, and it's like, wait, I realize this might be a different audience, but we've all me and him, we've all played together forever.
So I mean, since the first couple months of the server.
Yeah. We drove up from Jersey. It was like a 12-hour drive. Ended up staying at a hotel for like $50 or something like that a piece. I wasn't even that much. I don't remember. It was cheap. He got a deal for some reason because he had like work. I don't know, like work.
Yeah, like a work
thing.
Benefit.
Yeah. And then drove the rest of the way in the morning and ended up meeting up with Drew in here. How did you guys get over to Chicago?
I flew in super easy. I mean, you guys were able to like just kind of swing by and pick me up without much issue.
Yeah.
But yeah, my way in was really easy. The airport was easy to navigate. I didn't think getting around Chicago was all that hard, which we'll get into, but I mean, it was smooth sailing for me.
That's one of the big benefits, or one of the things we debate on when we're selecting a city for Gather Together. It's about incoming flights. If the airports are good, easy navigating, and within reasonable location of where we're going to be hosting everything. So hearing that from you warms mine and pretty much all of our hearts.
I should say Chicago has two airports. I flew into Midway. I know others flew into O'Hare. So I don't know what the O'Hare experience was, but Midway was super easy. So
yeah. After I got shit on, I waited a little bit longer and picked up Solo Wolf. We found each other, and I immediately went to go get some deep dish because I knew our schedule was kind of packed for the weekend. So I got a nice deep dish pizza, and
is that what we're doing right now? Or we?
Oh,
it's
exactly what it was previously. It didn't change the ranking. It was fine. It was good. But it's not like
I didn't have a chance to eat it. You and Dave went on that one night without me, and
we went on an excursion with Solo.
I don't blame you. Like I had my own place where I was at, but I saw the picture. I think you or somebody with your group posted a picture of that pizza, and it looked like a soaking wet. It was a puddle of food. And I was like, I don't know if that doesn't appeal to me.
I'll share the Solo photo.
Okay.
I'll all the photos that I'm referencing, I'll throw it into the Discord so you can like pop it on there, because Solo didn't even like look at my food, but you could tell he looked at my food. He said he didn't look at my food, but he was staring at that slice. But Solo's kind of from the outskirts of Chicago, so he's familiar with it as well. So, but yeah, got the grub.
We were wandering around the streets and Dave was just asking random people where to get a slice of deep dish, and we just made our way there. It's great. It's great.
Fucking Dave.
Yeah. So we met up with Drew and we went and had breakfast at this little I don't even know what to call it, like Elizabethan era.
It's a breakfast cafe, dude.
Breakfast cafe in like a 1910 corner of an old home or something like that.
It had really good coffee. It had really good coffee.
I think after that, you guys went and played some Magic, right?
We did. We met up with Thados and Raya and played some Magic at just a local LGS that they had there, which was like good. Like they were super welcoming. It was really nice.
Yeah, they just like accepted like, oh, there's people here playing. We didn't have to pay to enter or anything like that. I went and searched through their like old cards, see what they had, and then paid like $10 for like 20 like I don't think they're around here, but like 20 like old Magic cards and like just throw in my collection. It was a nice little spot.
So literally, our entire Airbnb was in two groups. We had the Magic group, and we had me and Solo getting the pizza slice. And then I think our Airbnb opened up at like 4 o'clock.
4.
Yeah.
So we got done eating at like noon. I think you guys were starting to play Magic around that time or getting ready to ramp up for it.
About there.
We ended up going over to Field's house. Field was one of the organizers because he was boots on the ground for us this year. And he grilled up some food and we ate some tacos, and that's when like Swishy and the boys showed up, and Swishy brought his present and fixed it up there.
Big shout out to Field, dude.
Yeah,
big shout out to Field, dude.
Thank you, Field, for boots on the ground.
Yeah, it's hard to overstate like him just knowing what was like where the places were, what to suggest people go do. I feel like nearly everybody who attended this was somehow influenced by like his recommendations or his leadership.
Literally,
having a connect to the city was
phenomenal.
Yeah. I don't. Yeah, not even a word for it.
Yeah. I gave a thank you to him because of everything he did. I literally took my bottle in the last episode. We were taking shots or whatever. That bottle of nastiness that people didn't like.
Oh,
I gave him that bottle of all of it remaining. So I don't have any more of it as a thank you for helping organize everything. But that's also where we started having our new guest join us for the remainder of the weekend. And that was thanks to, I'm going to call him out. I'm going to just straight say it. It was Swishy who actually made Stick Eric.
So now the first appearance of Stick Eric.
We have Stick Eric that attended all of our events for dinner and everything. Just Stick Eric, did you have fun at karaoke? Yeah, I did too. So no, I got to keep it. Probably the worst move they could have had, but at the same time, it was great to be able to have him running around with us. This is going to be a regular person on our podcast now.
What were your feelings on Stick Eric, Drew? And
how do I get out of this conversation as fast as possible?
Eric,
what are your feelings?
If you're listening, Eric,
boy, does he exist.
Thanks for joining us on this trip. You couldn't make it. Vegas was great. But yeah, so again, shout out to Feel. Appreciate you for like hooking everybody up with the information. And so we eventually move on to karaoke. That was that evening. So we got to the Airbnb. We just kind of threw our stuff down.
Right in the heart of Chinatown, we got some food.
Yeah,
really
that's
good
true.
food, actually.
That was the food.
Really good food. Dude.
I ate that food the whole weekend.
Yeah, we got really good like classic Hunan Chinese food. The menu even had Hunan and then American Chinese food on it, right next to each other.
Yeah. We went into this little row of shops right underneath where we were staying, and the one guy was like, he had to like muster his English. He was like, "We don't have any rice," and we're all just like, "You don't serve rice here?" He's like, "Just what you see on the sign."
Dude, Chinatown rocked. I love that.
So everybody's
so walkable. It was great.
Everybody's like, okay, and leaves. I go, how about noodles? And he goes, no noodles. And I'm like, okay, I'm just gonna go with the guys. They already left. That's where we were staying.
Yeah, and the karaoke place we found, it was like a 10-minute walk. awesome.
Yeah, it was actually when we picked that karaoke, I went through 4 to 5 different karaoke places, and I found that one to be the best kind of layout and vibe that I was getting online. So that was the one I booked. I wanted to get there early, so I dropped the stuff off at the Airbnb, and I went there almost immediately just to be able to kind of hang out, make sure everything was good to go, ready to rock and roll. And they were great. I didn't know they were that close. I didn't know, like literally within 15 minutes from each other, walking distance, we had Feel, our Chinatown Airbnb, and the karaoke place, and that worked out phenomenal.
Yeah, and the local transportation train. Like, it was a really good spot.
Yeah. The train was definitely a cool part of Chicago that I wasn't aware of prior to being there. It's like an above ground subway, essentially.
I get to the karaoke place. They walk me through on how to be able to get music like suggested, requested, and put it on music and all that kind of stuff. And I made sure to, like, as people came in, kind of explain it to them so I could offload that information to other people, so I didn't have to sit there and almost DJ all night.
Yeah.
But karaoke, what'd you guys think of that? I mean, Quetch, you were at last year's, so you can compare. And Drew in first time with us on there, straight up.
Yeah, I mean, I'll just say, as someone who's done karaoke like once in his life, like, it was a good sized space. And everybody seemed to have a great time. And you got me to sing.
That's what I was going to say.
Star. So you got it. You did it.
You were down with not singing shit. And I saw you sing it. And I walked over with the mic and we did it together. Hell yeah.
I didn't have the mic, but they did a back-to-back Weird Al. And I sang both of those.
Oh, you were belting the Weird Al. I do remember that.
Belting it.
I walked in because I was out for a little bit. I walked in. You're belting the Jedi
Saga
song.
Begins. Yeah.
The
Saga Begins is the name of that song. Yeah.
Yeah, no, that was a great time, dude. I really enjoyed I mean, the karaoke last year was great. This year was great for kind of like different reasons too. Like, I was definitely more involved in like singing. Like, last year was much more like yelling, talking to people because we were like so close and it was so loud. But we had more space this year, and I just did a bunch of songs and had a great time.
Conversation was not hard in karaoke to have. Like, I know Dave and I were having full conversations and like just hanging out even during singing, and it wasn't interrupting anything. It was a good space.
Yeah.
At least in my opinion.
I think the main feedback that I had and some other people had, DA, I'm sure you've heard it already, the song selection wasn't great.
Yeah.
Compared to last year's was a better because it was just like, here's YouTube, find your shit.
Find it on
this
YouTube.
Year it was like all preloaded stuff, so we were missing out. I didn't get to do Superman this year by Eminem. Forget About Dre. Dick in a Box. I looked for Friday by Rebecca Black. They didn't have that either.
So we got to do I'm on a Boat, but we didn't get to do Friday. You know what I mean?
Right. Which he was blacked out on that. Apparently, he believed he did not do I'm on a Boat. He doesn't remember that at all.
He did with stick Eric in hand. So
yeah.
I sent Quetch over to look for Sonic Adventure 2 Battle Escape from the City and Live and Learn.
This is a hilarious thing. You sent me to go find Live and Learn from the Sonic Adventure 2 soundtrack, and I get over there.
I'll say, because it's a Sum 41 song, like it's a full ass like rock band. Like, they just did that song for that game.
Right.
So, sorry, keep going.
So I come back to you and I'm like, they didn't have it. But I'm like, here's the weird thing. The person right before me was also looking for Sonic Adventure music. I was like... What?
I know you're giving a look, but it is the most well-known like video game soundtrack of all time. I had a disc for it when I was like 12.
Right next to like Kingdom Hearts. I would say those two are in the running for like some of the most memorable.
It's up there.
I can't judge you. You saw the songs I sung. I sung probably 6 to 8 songs. You saw the songs I sung, so I can't judge you.
And if I were to poll the audience of this podcast, if they know the song "Escape from the City" from Sonic Adventure 2, they would know it, dude.
Post down below if you recognize the song "Escape from the City." If you can play it in your head, also leave a comment.
There you go.
Karaoke did start a little bit slow for the time because our time window, I think, started at 7, but it didn't really ramp up till about like 8:30. I do want to give a shout out to Cookie Bandit, by the way, because Cookie came in a little bit late and she said, sorry, it took Greek 45 minutes to find a pair of pants he liked. And that was funny as hell.
That is like the Greekest Greek statement I've heard.
It is. It is. That's why I'm calling it out right now. But it was a good atmosphere. I really enjoyed the sound system. It was a great place.
Anyway, that was pretty much most of the night. That was Friday night.
Yeah, it was Friday night. I don't think we really did. I mean, I didn't do much after that. I think I went back to the Airbnb, played a little bit more Magic, and then went to bed.
After traveling and then karaoke, it was most people were kind of exhausted. Some people forgot their card and had to walk all the way back to the place. But other than that,
brutal, dude.
That was me. I did forget my card.
That tracks.
I forgot. Yes, so you and Dave left because you came and poked me. You're like, we're leaving. You guys left.
We left
like 10 or 11 or whatever. And
something like that.
I assume you guys were smart enough to close your tab and grab your cards and go. We all left. I wasn't that smart. We got pretty far, and then I had to turn around and go. I forget what happened.
You mean so?
I had been drinking.
Yeah, okay. I'm aware. Yeah, they do still have open container laws out there, Quetch, and I'm glad you're okay.
No, hey, well, listen. Except for the Malort from Feel at like
that's what I'm referring to.
Yeah. So, any other shout outs for
Friday?
For Friday, it was a ton of fun. DA, appreciate you for setting that up for everybody.
Yeah,
karaoke, something I never thought about really doing on my own, but doing it with like both GTs now has been such a blast, and like almost like I wouldn't want to go without it. You know what I mean? Like I'd be convinced, but I would prefer if we did karaoke at least once during these events.
I've read a bunch of the surveys, and it seems the group is not necessarily split, but there are a few people that wish it was more like a casual thing on Fridays when we meet up. But I think when everybody's getting into town, that's the best, like, we're all here, parties time, let's go kind of thing. So we'll see how it develops in the future.
It's almost like an icebreaker in that regard.
Yeah, that's kind of the point.
I'll fight against that a little bit. If I could lob a hair of criticism, I think it was fun. I mean, look, I've got a bias here because karaoke is not like my big thing. I love singing, but like kind of not on a stage like that. But I wish it was a little bit more casual to be able to like meet. Also, we really needed name tags. Okay. I didn't know who anybody was.
Fully aware, already documented. We had it ready to go, and it was going to be done. Hugan was ready to hit the button, and his files for last year's name tags completely gone. Even if he didn't get them in time, but that is something we will be doing in the future going forward. You're not the only one, so you're not the only one to say it. That was something brought up multiple times, and that's why we do the surveys to be able to find out what we can improve on.
I got you.
Name tags will be there.
So you think more like a mixer, Druin? Is that what you would have rather had kind of seen?
Kind of. It's always tough, right? Because it's like when you're meeting people, some people prefer like more of an activity to just be comfortable in a space with a bunch of people. Some people prefer like low key conversation. Like I'm more on the latter on that. But I'm pretty easy going, so I'm fine with anything. It just, I don't know.
I saw a couple
name tags would have done a lot.
Yeah, sure. That's a great feedback.
Yeah.
Yeah. So, I mean, I guess we're good to move on to Saturday.
Yeah.
Saturday. So, anybody want to kick off Saturday?
There was a dilemma.
Ooh.
On Saturday. Do we go to the arcade? Because do you want to? So here, I'll set the stage and you can expand.
Okay.
Do we go to the arcade or do we go to the Fossil Museum, hosting a Pokemon, or no? The Field Museum hosting a Pokemon fossil exhibit. I apologize. That's what it was.
We already had tickets to that. That was going to be at 4:15.
You're right. Yes.
That was our intent to go there eventually. Yes. And I had me and some people were kind of middling on it. I was really wanting to go to an arcade. It was like the biggest in the U.S. or something like that.
Mm-hmm.
Solo Wolf ended up going, and he has some pictures from that as well.
Yeah, I believe so. I don't know.
Yeah, Solo told me it was cool. I don't have a lot of details, but
Solo also said he doesn't snore, so I'm gonna go ahead and call that out. I had a rough night. I'm gonna go ahead and call it out. Solo Wolf, you heard me?
Yeah. I can't see anything. I snored Saturday night. So.
All right, cool.
All right, we got that aired out, or do you need to?
No, that's enough.
Okay,
that's enough. He's over there like bitching about Sandoria players right now.
And we ended up going, okay, it would be a lot of like getting around the city to go to both. So we just ended up playing some board games. We played a game called Moonrakers that Druin taught us. I thought it was fantastic. A great mix of mechanics and like negotiation that I often don't find. Games I end up playing are either like heavy on the negotiation or none with mechanics. and it was a nice blend of the two. So I really enjoyed my time playing that.
Yeah, 100%.
We are not a board game podcast, so I won't go into too much detail. Moonrakers, check it out.
We could be.
DA, you were out early, I feel like you bounced early in the day on Saturday, because we didn't meet up with you until well into the Field Museum.
Yeah. I don't know what I did. I left early
I feel like you
to
went and got
go
your
get my
car or
car.
something?
Somebody somewhere?
Yeah, I wanted to get my car,
Yeah.
and then I think I was picking. I don't know. I think I went to the Field Museum, but I don't. I think I went there at like noon, 1 o'clock. It was me and Thanos, I believe. Both him and I went there early because we wanted to knock out quite a bit of it before the Pokemon exhibit, so we could do that as our last stop on the way out. But I don't remember doing anything prior to that, and if so, it's blacked out.
Like I said, I do
think I
remember
just
you going to get
chilled.
your car. Yeah.
Yeah, I think that's what it was. I went and got the car, then I
Yeah.
went to the Field Museum, and I knocked out the Field Museum. Thank God, by the way, I left the field or did the Field Museum early, and did the Pokemon at the end. Reason being is because they had an Ed Sheeran concert next door
Yeah.
at the Soldier
they did,
Field,
yeah.
and I was leaving as they were closing streets down, and I was like, "Oh, didn't know about that. Oh shit!"
Oh,
So,
you left on your car. You're saying you almost didn't get out with your car.
yeah, they were
that's
shutting
wild.
everything down. Yeah, so it
We
was
all-
Detour City.
We all took the train in.
No, we Ubered.
Oh, we Ubered to the Field
We
Museum.
thought about the train, but the Uber was going to be like way faster and more time efficient, so we ended
at
up
that
just
time.
Ubering.
Yeah, like later
At that
on in the
time,
day,
yeah.
it was a little worse for the Ubers comparatively.
Yes.
But,
Well, to go to dinner, which we'll cover, that's when we took the train.
Yeah. So we all ended up going to the Field Museum, which is a natural history museum. For those of you who don't know, we've talked about it at least once on the podcast. LTL recommended it really early on as we were talking about going to Chicago. And it was kind of what you would expect. It was, the dinosaur bone exhibits. They had, the largest intact Tyrannosaurus Rex skeleton in the U.S. That was Sue. And we went and saw the Egypt. We went to the Egypt portion too, which had a lot of like ancient Egypt artifacts and took you through like the
Yeah, a lot of
years, the
relics
different
and stuff,
phases. Of
They
that.
used to have Sue when you walked in. Sue was right there in the middle of the open floor. So
Well-
it was a shock to me when I walked in and didn't see Sue. I was like, "Where the fuck is Sue at?"
So they
And
used
it
to
was
have
nice.
that?
Yeah, and you walk in and Sue was like in that main area, that main lobby area. That's where Sue was. So you
That's
walk
not where
in,
we
see it
entered.
right at. Yeah, no,
entered on the-
They moved Sue for this.
I see what you're saying.
Right. Back in the day when I walked in, Sue was always there. So when I walked in, I was wondering, is Sue gone? Did they move Sue? Is it on tour or something like that?
Yeah.
So I was very happy that they gave Sue her own exhibit and everything
Yeah.
around it as well. That was really cool.
Yeah, it was a fun little experience.
It's like a weird walk where you're walking like to get to like you go into this section where you're like, I want to go see this specific like dinosaur fossil, and then you're walking past all of like Earth history and all of like the extinction level events that have all taken place, and it was like extinction level event 1, all of this happened, and then you walk for like another like 2 minutes, it's extinction event 2, and you're just like, where's the dinosaur? And then we get there, you're like, I get it, I get why they do it all.
It's
It was cool.
Yeah, we were like, how many extinction level events are there? And then we got to 5 and we're like, oh, okay, I guess that's it.
For
Yet.
now. Yeah.
I think we all made the joke. I think we all made that same joke.
Sue surprised me. It was like, it just looked like an overgrown, like it just lived too long. Like that's why it was so huge. You know what I mean? It wasn't like necessarily like imposing. It just looked old. Looked like an old.
Well, it's a dinosaur skeleton.
So
Yeah, it's
mean.
old.
Oh yeah, okay.
Anyway, so after Wonderful Sue, which is worth every penny to go visit that museum in the first place, we went over to
Yes.
I think our tickets were $4.15 for the Pokemon exhibit, but they'd start letting you in 10 minutes early, and we started just hitting it. We went right in, and we got photos galore.
I know.
That
I at least
right
will
off
have
the bat,
photos to
cool
throw
as
up.
shit. Yeah, cool as shit.
And I guess we should just state like the Pokemon fossil exhibit specifically in this museum. It's like it's a special event where like Nintendo Pokemon Company, they run like this this walkable exhibit where you get to look at the fossil type Pokemon like Kabuto, Omastar, all like those styles. and then you look at their real world equivalent right next to it as well.
Yeah, specifically the fossils for each generation. They took the fossil Pokemon, which were all derived from real world fossils.
Including the original Game Boy, which was right at the beginning.
That was a fossil as well.
That made us feel all old.
We all stood there. I think we all had an existential moment of standing there, staring at it, and there was like 10 seconds of silence, and then we go, well.
Yeah, of course was like, did you play the red or blue? I was like, I played yellow. He's like...
Yeah, which is objectively the wrong answer.
Yeah, I got judged immediately.
That's the one I still own. I still have my copy of yellow.
They only have this exhibit in 2 locations in the world, too, which is Chicago and Tokyo.
Wow.
Yes, and the Tokyo version does not get a card like we got.
Yeah. Oh, you got a card. Oh, what kind of card is it?
Honestly, I'm not sure I could remember the name.
It's an Archaeops.
There it is.
Yep.
It's so they had the fossil of the Archaeopteryx that they showed later on in the thing. So yeah, so I'll just elaborate on that a little bit. Like Ammonite had like shell fossils that were like real fossils right next to what was essentially like a fossil reproduction of what the size of an Ammonite would be according to the games, but made out of like resin or whatever it would have been. So it was basically like a skeleton fossil of each of the fossil Pokemon. It'll be on screen for those of you watching on YouTube, for those of you who are listening. Like almost like you would be looking at a dinosaur fossil exhibit in an actual museum, to scale. And then they had the real fossils nearby, and it was a really fun little journey.
Wonderfully done.
Yes.
It was cool. It was extremely well done.
Well made.
Yeah.
Swishy and I walked through it.
The walk was really great.
Then you got a ticket to go to the little gift shop that was specifically for the Pokemon exhibit. You guys want to show it off?
Well, there was one thing that a lot of people bought. Did anybody buy anything else at the?
Yes,
you bought a shirt.
I got a sweater and a hoodie beside me, and I'll show those off in a sec.
Oh, cool! I'm actually curious what hoodie you got, so this will be fun to see.
I don't have my shirt to show off, so I worry.
All right, anybody have their? Anybody have it? All right, and go.
Oh!
I opened mine. These guys are losers, right, Pikachu?
Nope.
Losers.
Mine is gonna stay safe and secure.
Mine is gonna let my son. I'm gonna let my son open it.
Okay.
So to be clear, this is Explorer Pikachu. It is only available by going to like one of these. Not to be hoity-toity about it, but it was just kind of a cool thing to like walk in and like a really cool souvenir just to like grab. I think.
Yeah. Oh no, it's great. It's gonna go with my plushie collection. I've got like a red mage chocobo and some other stuff, and I think it fits perfectly. It's great.
I got a hoodie and a sweater. I'm gonna let my son pick. They only had larges, so he's gonna have to shrink this. But at the same time, here's the sweater that I got.
Oh, okay.
Yeah,
which
very
I
cool.
love.
I like that one. Yeah. I didn't see that.
Cool.
And then obviously the hoodie.
I almost bought the hoodie
too. Yeah, it's good.
Almost. That's a cool one.
They're
well made too.
Their stock was kind of weird. It was like only certain patterns were available in certain sizes. You know what I mean?
Yeah. I think it was kind of later in the event.
Yeah, I agree.
Timeline that they had, so it was kind of like, let's put everything we haven't sold yet out there. So I think it
was cool stuff. Don't get me wrong. I like the shirt that I got, and I think it's the whole 10 out of 10 of like event. It was really cool to go to.
Yeah, really.
I think I took
really
more
well made.
pictures of that than any other event in Chicago.
Same.
I took 0 pictures. So yeah.
So hopefully you've all been seeing a
slideshow. I took a picture of the Game Boy. I think that's it.
I didn't get a picture of that, so if you want to send that to me, legitimately, I will put it up.
I'm gonna upload all the photos that I got from these conversations as well.
Awesome.
So I'll put it in the host chat.
Awesome. So, any other shout outs? Oh, I actually have one more shout out from the Field Museum. I'll include this picture as well. This is actually going to lead into our conversation, at least a little bit later in the episode. Alexandrite. I got a picture of some legitimate Alexandrite. It's a very rare gem, which is why it's utilized in...
Did you just get one of 30,000?
Well, in also the same photo is the cat's eye Alexandrite, which is two things.
Shit.
Yeah, it's much rarer in real life. It also completes your stage of relic in Final Fantasy XI if you were to get a cat's eye. It's a real item that you can acquire. Mythic, right? Thank you. You're mythic in FF11. On retail, if you get a cat's eye from Mog Bonanza, you can complete your 30,000 Alexandrite, which is one of these, which I have a picture of.
You turn in 30,000 Alexandrites. They give you a cat's eye, and that's your item that you turn in for a mythic progression.
No.
Yeah.
No.
That's not how that works.
Really?
No. The little rat takes your Alexandrites, and when he hits 30,000, he just goes, "Good job."
He just stores. Yeah.
Really?
Yeah.
The rat is the person you turn items into.
I know. I remember that he was in a hallway.
So like,
the cat's eye is just like a circumventing item. It just allows you to just ignore that stage.
Like the really heavy metal plate or whatever as well for the heavy metals. But
we're such fucking nerds. I love
it. So any last shout outs, things you enjoyed at the museum? Anything like that?
Thank God they had benches. I realized I'm getting old.
Fair enough.
Continue.
Yeah.
So no.
Yeah.
Moving on to the rest of the evening, we had I wrote pre-dinner here, but I don't think we did much before the tapas. The transportation. We took the train.
We kind of got to see Chicago proper a little bit, which was cool.
Yes.
I like the city a lot. I'm a big fan. I would go back in a heartbeat.
Absolutely.
But we just kind of wandered around. We got a little bit of ice cream, and then you tried to navigate us to the closest train station, and it took you like 30 minutes.
I navigated us to one of the closest train stations.
I navigate quite well.
Yeah.
Soundboard. Yeah.
Yeah. But you got us to see the sights, Quetch, so I appreciate.
We saw a little bit of the city. We walked. Honestly, looking back, we walked probably 4 blocks more than we needed to get to the first train station. But what we didn't get on, which I thought is where we were going, we didn't get on the bus that would have brought us to the train station. I thought was going to be like a subway. It was not. But we took the above ground subway, the loop they call it. It was a nice little ride. You really got to just see some of the city as you went. We went north over to the tapas spot. This is where the group met up for basically the entire group met up for food. And it was just like I didn't expect this. I don't know what you thought going in, DA, but it was like a 9-course meal. I thought we were picking from the 3 different selections and we were going to get some of whatever we wanted.
Yeah, I thought it was just buffet style. Like you just keep ordering is what I had thought it was going to be. Yeah.
I knew it was family style. That was in the description, right. But that's that could be verbalized a little bit better in the actual event section, to be honest with you. I honestly, I love the food. I just wish there was more. That was me.
I see what you're saying.
I think that's a fair assessment.
But
the drinks were good.
Unlimited sangrias and wine. So I mean, we're gonna have a good time.
As somebody who doesn't drink, I'm surprised you remember that night. Like you had way more sangria than I think you had any right having.
I had 3.
Oh, okay.
I had 3 sangrias. That's a lot.
I cleared that, dude. What? Come on.
No, that's fine. But I don't drink.
You're like Yingling.
Oh my God. But dinner, I thought it was. I liked we had our own room. We also had a cuck table, which was really nice.
What was on that?
Yeah. Greek and some of his friends.
What a wild follow-up question.
No, we had a few more people than we expected, so we ran out of chairs. We had a secondary table that was meant for like gifts or giving out the pins that we had, because Statos brought the Juno pins this year. But since we had more people kind of show up to the dinner, which by the way, that is now a new record for our dinner. We had 43. Previous year we had 36, I believe. So since we had that extended group, we just cleared off that table, and the server was like, "Do they need anything?" I was like, "It's the cuck table. Just get them whatever you can." And he started laughing. He thought it was funny as hell. But we had a good one. It was great. Eric was still at dinner. We made sure to all get a picture with Eric, so we always have an excuse of being able to say, "Hey, if you ever want to, do another cosmetic, we did meet some devs out here." But I've been pushing that for weeks now. But food was good. It was a little. I would say I'm more accustomed to a burger and grease, and this was like more fine dining. So I partaked in the sangrias to be able to help me along.
You look, you have an opinion, Druin.
I think we got different definition of fine dining, but it's fine.
Agreed.
That I'm arguing. I'm not arguing against you. Like I enjoyed my time.
Levels here. That's called fine dining for me. Your fine dining is higher scale than that. I agree.
I thought the food was good. I enjoyed it. I had a good time. I mean, all we really did was sit down and talk 11 for what, 2 hours, 2.5 hours of dinner, while we just stuffed our face. So
you, Sinus
yep.
I think in particular, and Dave all kind of had discussions about like Endgame. Like I argued like Excalibur got its graces, which you, Druin, argued way longer before I did, by the way. You and I had conversation about Excalibur probably 2+ years ago about how it could be good with a red mage in low man situations, just adding chip damage into content. And now it's a better weapon. And maybe that's a different conversation for when maybe I actually finish mine. But
yeah, it went in a different path than I expected. But I mean, I like it. Not that
it was close to being the biggest mistake I made in Chicago because I FaceTimed Hugin since he didn't go through Discord. So I then gave my phone out so everybody could say hello and hi to Hugin and help for organizing it.
In fact, it was handed to me, and I started passing it off to other folk.
Yeah, so I'm very thankful nobody went through my photos or any of my shit on my phone. Holy crap, that could have been bad. But it was a great way to be able to get Hugin involved since he couldn't make it this year. But he was in the planning side of things.
Cue me yelling into the phone, Hugin, you okay? You doing good? Yeah, Quish, it's good to hear your voice. Hey, Hugin, I can't really hear what you're saying, but but hi, I'm gonna pass you off to the next person.
Oh. But dinner was good. Thank you, Phil. Phil was on top. Yeah, Phil organized kind of his event.
Yep. Yeah. Again, it was a good pick. It was a great space. I mean, it's one of those where, yes, maybe we could have had a little bit more food, but to find a place that could accommodate us with that much room and space, you take concessions, and what it was fantastic.
And can I say they were very helpful. We had sitting across me was Sinis, who had maybe like a gluten allergy or something. And I was probably one of the only people in the room asking for Stella. I don't handle wine well, so I was like, I can't really have the wine and the sangria. What do you have? And so they're bringing me like a Stella here and there. They're accommodating him with the gluten, and they were very accommodating to the people who needed. Yes, the staff was great.
Yeah, 100%. I would recommend the restaurant. I had a great time. I would go on my own to have an actual
I'd like to see what else they serve. Honestly, sit at one of the little tables they have. Any other shout outs to the tapas? All right. Well, this was the big dinner. This is where we literally got everybody, as far as I understand, everybody who came was pretty much at that. And then we moved on to late night. I wrote late night shenanigans, and I'll just leave this one kind of open, whatever anybody wants to go over. Basically, this was the big night for hanging out.
We were supposed to go to a rooftop bar.
We did go to a rooftop bar.
I called that place 4 months early, seeing about reservations or anything. They went no reservations. So I was like, all right, I tried anyways. So we get in line for it, and because we're all in the Discord channel and what's happening now section, Solo was like, it's packed, way too many people, can't talk. And he was like, I hate it up here. And I was like, that's my cue. I stepped out of line and I went down to the bar. I went to the hotel bar at that point in time.
So you didn't even come up to the rooftop. We were there for a while, Drew.
The crew that went straight.
Yeah, I did.
To the bar. Yeah. You, me, like Dave, Sinis, a big group of us went up to the actual bar itself.
Yeah.
We got there really quick.
I know I saw Greek up there. Cookie Bandit was up there. Basically I think honestly the H&MLS, honestly in a weird way, I think the H&M people all showed up, which is funny.
Well, they got to get their TKP.
Yeah.
No, really. Seriously. We all hopped in Ubers and we're like, beeline.
Where Dragon had like a whole group photo up there that they took because there was a bunch of people who all like particularly. I just remember one moment where Cookie Bandit said something like, "Can somebody from demo take the picture because we don't want Heirloom. They need to go away. Heirloom needs to go away." And I was like, this is hilarious. Yeah. So the demo crew, which is my H&MLS, was Drew and myself, Dave, and Sinis Bellum were the only 4 from demo. Where Dragon had probably, 8 maybe? I don't know if you know. Yeah. We had one guy drive from or come in from Alaska as part of their group.
Two from Canada, 1 from Alaska. Yeah.
2 from Canada. Wow. Okay. Dude. Oh, was that the French Canadian?
The French guys. Yeah.
Oh, okay. Yeah.
They were like, we're not going to sing. We're here for fun. 2 hours later, they're up there singing a French song.
Literally not a French accent, but nice try to you.
Judge me. I'm just happy they came and sang. And they said, next year we're going to practice an English song. I was like, don't bother. Just continue to do what
just
you
hang
do.
out.
Clive and their brother. I know Clive is on staff. I see them in the staff Discord every now and again. So It was interesting to put a face to somebody I'm not really too familiar with, but like now, going forward, like we'll be able to be like, oh yeah, I know you from this.
You got a few staff people there then. Yeah, that's awesome.
Yeah, Sinis is on one of the teams. Clive, myself, on the stream team. Swishy is part of. He does like some.
SETI.
SETI also on the stream team. So a little bit, not necessarily direct staff in terms of like overseeing the server, but people who are involved in playtesting and stuff. Druin had done playtesting on the HE&Ms. I'm not sure we ever mentioned that in this podcast.
Yeah, I did, yeah.
Before those released. Eric was there in spirit and in cardboard. But yes, the rooftop bar. It was fun. Al as well. Al also on the stream team, hanging out. I got probably more chance to like hang out with Al
Al's on the stream team now?
Yeah.
Are you announcing that? I didn't hear that. When did Al get on the stream team? Oh.
Cut this.
Click, cut it. I don't know. We haven't done much as a stream team since he joined, so I'm not sure how public that is, but I'll have to review that before posting this episode.
It hasn't been made public.
Yeah. And then we just hung out, and then we eventually joined you guys.
Yeah. I will say I just want to just touch base. The rooftop bar, yes, it was kind of hard to move and talk and yada. One, I had a very good espresso martini up there, so that was great. Two, the view was incredible. It was a really, really great view.
Pretty good
up there.
Nice.
Yeah, like it was a really good view of the city. So it was still worth it to and I mean, I guess for us who went up there, it was nice to go up there and just see it. And then even if it's have one drink and then bounce. Like,
we all bought one drink, except
we all got a drink,
maybe somebody got a second. And in terms of reservations, you brought that up, DA. There was basically 2 roped off areas, and one of which had like 2 people in it. It's like 12 tables with 2 people in it. I guess the people hadn't showed up yet for whatever reason. And us all crammed in this one middle area, and we could see the view from there. But the places that would have had the better view were like reserved and roped off. So I don't know what that was all about, but
that's my experience always with any rooftop bar I've gone up to. It's still worth it. It was a great time.
Yeah.
So
shout out to all those people that I mentioned that were up there as well. And then we joined DA, and honestly, this was where we all got to like talk and hang out the most as a full group than anywhere and any other time during this event was at the hotel bar, which is the hotel that you guys had picked to be the main sort of hotel, but only certain people kind of like paid the like full price. Essentially, a bunch of us did Airbnb instead.
It was a little expensive, so we made sure other people had the options of being able to fan out. But yeah, that hotel bar
was like the hub, if you will. Like it was like the center point.
Yeah,
is how I thought of it.
So that was good.
We had a drink at the hotel bar. It was a good time to hang out. People kind of slowly went off. I know Dave and I and Solo all had our late night excursion, and
that was the one where you said Dave was literally asking people where the next or where to get good deep dish pizza.
To get a good slice of deep dish. We're just stumbling our way through the city, finding deep dish. We got it. It was fine. It was aggressively fine. And then we went back to the Airbnb. Yeah.
Blondie and Kat would have had to leave early from all that to make the last train for their neck of the woods. So I told them, don't worry about it. I'll give you a drive. So I had a car with Thanos, Raya, Blondie, and Kat, and I took them back to their place, dropped them off, and that's where the video of Thanos and Raya just passed the hell out of my car is when I'm getting back into town.
Sick.
Get back to the Airbnb, and I was like, everyone's here! And the Druid's like, Quetch is gone! And I was like, okay. So we're messaging you
to the ether.
Yeah, we're messaging you and all that jazz.
You guys were making sure I was okay, and I'm really happy about that. I was in the diviest dive bar to ever dive.
Saturday night, downtown Chicago.
I didn't get home. I left the bar at like 3 a.m. It was like 1 a.m. when I'm in there, and every square inch of this place is covered with a sticker. And it's like black walls with stickers everywhere. You know, the bathroom, same. It's graffiti everywhere. It's like the diviest dive bar, and a bunch of us. I couldn't even list them, but a bunch of the people left from the hotel bar and went over there, and the jukebox, we were hitting the jukebox. Some of us were putting in music, and they had this, actually one of the best features, I think probably June would appreciate this. They had a refrigerator that you would just go to, and a bunch of different beers and all labeled with prices right on them. You grab one, you walk over to the bartender, and you just set it on the table, and she'll open it for you, and then you just pay right there. So you kind of had your own selection, grab yourself kind of situation. Great variety.
That's my jam. Yeah, because I know that means that the stuff in there is good. If you have the confidence to set it up that way, you know the stock you got.
Dude,
that's all I'm saying.
Stock was fantastic. The people who worked there, the bouncer was this just hilarious dude, just walking around, just making sure everybody's having a good time. The bartender was constantly moving. The place was perfect. Everybody hanging out was a perfect vibe. And if I could go back to that place, like I would, you know what I mean? Like that place at that time, this is the place I'd go. And I just had a fantastic time. And it's not even about the drinks. It's just about the atmosphere and the people and
the vibe, dude.
Yeah. And get a little misty-eyed. It was a fantastic time. It really was a great time. I wish you guys could have been there. But
I would have enjoyed it.
I ended up walking home at like 3 a.m. or something like that.
I went Daddy DA, and I was like, I'm staying up till the sun gets home, and I was making sure you're all right.
Well, looking back on it, because I'm the type of person who like walk wherever I want to go. If I got to go somewhere in a city, whether it be New York or wherever, I hit the road or I hit the subway. I get where I got to go. I start walking, and I'm like a couple miles deep into this walk home from after the subway, and you're messaging me like I'm just gonna stay up, and I'm just like, I've been drinking. I don't know where I am. My GPS is getting me here. My phone's on like 30%. I'm like, I have a revelation, like right in the middle of this road where there's nobody in the city of Chicago, and I'm like, I need to get home. I'm
just hammered in the middle of a city he doesn't know with an almost dead battery. Yep. That's why
direction is Chinatown.
That's why I was like, I'm making sure.
Yeah. The trains after a certain hour, I don't know if you know this, Drew, and the trains after a certain hour don't stop at our stop where Chinatown was.
Correct.
They go.
We found that out.
It was over a mile further or so. So anyway, so thank you to DA for making sure that I got home safe and honestly contacting me while I was out there, just texting me and stuff like that. Not that there was anything that was an issue, but it was just nice to have a sort of like, an anchor there, getting me back. But yeah, it was a great time. I really loved Saturday night. Fantastic. I hate to monopolize it, but that was my favorite part of the whole, I hate to monopolize the conversation, but that was my favorite part of like the weekend hangs.
No, it's great, dude.
Yeah. So, any other shout outs for Saturday night? The various bars, various hangs.
I slept in the living room that time. That was better.
I was the snorer that night, so.
No, I didn't hear it. You're good.
Yeah, but Solo did.
Oh, that's right. Yeah.
Yeah. I got him back, basically.
Awesome. So I was in a room with two people that could possibly snore. That's awesome. So I'm glad
Usually I don't, but I think I'm so old. I had so much sugar that day that it's just like, I'm going to snore. I don't, it's just, anybody the people who know what I'm talking about know what I'm talking about. So
if you know, you know.
If you know, you know.
All right. Well, that's Saturday, and honestly, the bulk of the of our time I gathered together. Any shouts to Sunday? I know we all basically got up and got the Airbnb ready to go.
Yeah, it was easy cleanup. We kind of just boogied and got out of there. I will lob a shout out. We went to after we left the Airbnb just for breakfast, we went to like a random Italian deli. I got my my classic Chicago Italian beef. As much as I love Gather Together, I'm big on food. That was a highlight for me. Shout out to The Bear. Love that show. It introduced it. I was like, I'm going to Chicago.
Sandwich.
I gotta get one.
Okay.
Dude, it was good, dude. I loved it.
All right.
But other than that, I mean, I don't know. We just kind of like,
we dropped you off at the
dropped me off at the airport
and then drove home. Yeah.
I had my unicorn onesie ready for the Pride Parade, but I realized I didn't have a place to stay. And if I would have done the onesie in that heat for that day, I would have not been able to drive 8 hours back to Nashville. So I would have had to stay over, which means finding a place to like sleep. So at that point in time, I called it. It was like, let me start my drive. And I just drove back to Nashville. I hit a Buc-ee's on the way. So I was very happy about that. And right outside Bowling Green, but went smooth.
But that's a bit of a shame though, right? Like if part of the positive of flying in or flying out and maybe like scheduling like, Monday off work, whatever as well, is like just being able to spend that Sunday doing that. I wish I could have gotten to join the Pride event as well and just seen seen the people.
Same.
I would have loved to have 2 more days my friends.
In Chicago.
2 more days on the front and back end, or
doesn't. I'm
one of the front,
way.
one of the back.
Yeah,
that's the way I was feeling it.
Same,
Yeah.
honestly, same coming out of it.
Split.
This is the second year I regretted not coming in a day early. So I'm going to learn my lesson after 2, and I'll probably next time get in there a little bit earlier.
Because if I had Sunday, I would like walk Chicago. I'd hit Pride. I'd go find like a barcade. I'd go like explore the parts of the city that like I would like to like get into. Maybe find like a really, really dope restaurant and like, you know, stuff like that. It's one of those when you're there for an event, it's awesome and it's a lot of time. You just don't have the ability to explore it in that
bandwidth,
way, right?
Bandwidth.
Great call.
Yeah. The Friday into Saturday was great for the event itself, but like for like seeing the sights, I would have liked to have had all of Sunday to go do, like you said, the barcade or whatever. Anything additional on Sunday would have been really capstone to the event for me.
Cherry on top.
Not that it was a problem. Really enjoyed my time, but that is a criticism I have as well.
Okay, cool.
It's kind of self-inflicted though, right? Like I could have said, I'm going to do 2 more days. You know,
100%.
I mean? Like, yeah.
Awesome.
Now I just know for next time. I'm just going to block out a little bit longer.
You're going to have to wear that onesie on stream, I think, DA, for something.
Okay.
Ooh, you should.
Yeah, that's fine.
Okay.
Yeah.
All right.
I was really upset that I sung Frozen with Swishy and I didn't have my Frozen dress.
I would be upset about that too. I actually currently am, now that you bring it up.
No, I'll send you a photo. Never mind. If I said it, you'll put it in the episode. I'm not sending it.
Send it. I won't put it anywhere.
No, it's literally with me wearing the dress with the wig on, the Elsa wig, with a headset on and a cigarette in my mouth.
Dude, Quetch is just going to superimpose that on your
I'm going to put that into Gemini right now.
Yeah, awesome. Awesome. It'll be Stick DA.
Elsa DA.
Cool. Any sort of anything anybody wants to add? So we all basically went home from here. Anything postmortem? Anything anybody else wants to say about the event? I
have been going over the internal survey stuff. We just posted the external survey stuff yesterday or the day before. Kind of scattered that around for anybody who did not go.
The external survey.
Future. That one, yeah. The internal survey has been out for about a week or 2 now, so we've gotten most of the feedback. I would say if you haven't filled it out, I mean, you still have time. The link's not going to die or anything, but we have about 30 surveys.
May I ask about the external? Is that something you'd like me to link here? Is that?
Yeah, okay. We can post it for anybody because anybody can actually give feedback on what they were looking for next year. Last year we did West Coast. This year was Central. This coming year we're wanting East Coast. The main concern about doing it West Coast last year was people saying it was too far, too much of an issue, and that's why we consider a rotation. And you'll have something in your at least neck of the woods at least once every 3 years. So we're looking at East Coast this year, and the suggestions they are definitely the suggestions are all over the place. I would tell you right now, we will not make everybody happy because I saw people that were like, it needs to be May, June, and then someone else was like October, November. And someone else was like early spring. Someone was like late fall. And it all depends. The biggest thing about the time is depending on the location. Once we have a location, that's when we actually depend on the times. That's why Chicago this year was at the time. We looked at the last decade of average temperatures for this weekend in Chicago. And that's why it was so nice for us.
It was perfect weather. We didn't talk about this. Weather. You could not ask for better weather the entire weekend.
And that's also why we did Vegas in October, though, because Vegas you can do it later in the year because of the heat and such like that. You don't want to do Vegas in August. June, July, and you don't want to do Chicago in October, November. So that's why the destination is the determining factor of when we actually decide to be able to do this. Go ahead, Drew. I'm sorry.
Oh no, I was just gonna say I was comfortable in both a hoodie and not a hoodie, and to me that's like perfect weather.
Right.
Like that's the bar.
I will say we already got a lot of votes for New Orleans.
Interesting.
And that's not East Coast because people don't know what a map looks like. But it is something that maybe when Central rolls around, it'll already be set in stone. I saw 5 or 6 that were straight up for New Orleans.
I would say if you did New Orleans, that I would not consider that counting for the East Coast, and I would push to have an East Coast event. The next year,
New Orleans will probably be a rotation next time around through the central area. To be perfectly honest with you,
that would be my
partial to Nashville, New Orleans.
Good bowl, though.
I've been there; it's great. It is. I'm seeing a lot for. I saw one person that was like, "Man, I definitely don't want something too expensive. What's your suggestion for a destination? New York City." I was like,
"No."
Dude,
Okay, those two don't.
I got hard feelings on NYC. I love that city, but for this kind of thing,
I'm seeing
absolutely
DC
not.
leading pretty well. That's not a confirmation,
DC.
but I'm seeing DC being a great destination right now for the amount of people that have suggested DC and the amount of the stuff you can do with the touristy stuff and being able to kind of visit. So
it's weirdly supportive of this kind of larger group situation.
So I'm not confirming.
How's the upper Northeast looking?
Cold?
No, that's not what I mean. Sir?
I'm seeing it on the radar as well. I haven't broken everything down, but I saw a bunch of votes for Philly. I saw a bunch of votes for, or one or two for Baltimore, a bunch for DC, a couple for New York. Boston was on the radar as well. And I had 3 that were just like anywhere in Florida. So they were very vague on that, with a couple people that were specifically picking specific areas in Florida as well, making a Disney trip or something like that. So there's a good variety. That's why I'm saying right now, we will not be able to make everyone happy because it's impossible to do that. Look at the private server business that everyone's in right now. There's not a choice or decision that is made on a private server that makes everybody happy. So it is what it is. We're going to be able to find the best option we can. We're going to do an East Coast, and then we're going back to West. But New Orleans is already on the radar for next Central. I would say that.
Cool. Well, thanks for the heads up.
And thank you
for the survey.
Thanks to you. Thanks to the other members of the organization team.
Hugan, Rain, Feel, Cookie Bandit. So that is the crew.
Big
and
props.
Again, Feel specifically for saying that's my city. I want to make sure it's done right, stepping in and being able to be our boots on the ground guy. I kind of lean to being able to always have a boots on the ground of a local, if anybody, if they're interested on there, but we are always looking to be able to kind of change, mold, balance the actual team of organizing the Gather Together event. So we'll see what a team looks like as of for the East Coast. But once all surveys are done, we're going to review and we're going to start planning it again, because we usually do this, I'd say 6 months in advance. We start getting everything ready to go.
You guys, honestly, you guys surprised me with how early you were. We weren't far off of Vegas, maybe November or so, and you're like, no, we already got a crew. Like, it's me, Cookie Bandit, Rain, like we're already planning. And I was like, dude, thank you, because I'm not this kind of organizational person. Like, there are things that I'm good at, and this is not one of them. So when I saw you guys making moves on this already, I was like so looking, because I just get to look forward to the event and like support as much as I can. But that like planning 6-8 months in advance like thing is not my wheelhouse. So it was really awesome to see you guys taking charge on that. And obviously it paid off.
Once we find the destination, then we can plan our scheduling. Because if we pick something that's really cold, then obviously we're going to want to do it around this time of year next year. If it's somewhere that's not very cold, then it'll give us a leeway to be able to push it later to next year. Because honestly, from Vegas to Chicago wasn't a year. That was 9 months.
9 months
of a flip. So if we end up doing something that's at a warmer temperature, warmer climate, we might be able to push it later, but who knows? It all depends on the surveys that we get back and people's feedback and being able to get everything planned. So again, surveys are what we take into consideration here. More so internal surveys.
Or cold and then ice skating. Cold and ice skating?
I'm gonna have to think about that one.
Yeah, that's the best positive way you could say that. Thank you.
All right.
You saw how skinny I am.
Thank you for the breakdown there, Druin.
I will share an Airbnb with you guys anytime.
That's the highest compliment I think you've ever given me.
I get a room next time.
You're an easier roommate than you are a reliable treasure hunter. So,
all right.
You're talking to Quetch.
Yes. DA?
Okay. I was about to say, you haven't seen my TH. It's garbage too.
It's also garbage.
I was like, how does he know? I was so confused.
All right. So awesome event. I'm for those of you who enjoyed that recap, definitely recommend keeping abreast of when the next one is, where it is. And if you want to come with us, it'll be announced well in advance on this podcast, on the various streams that we have here as well. But we are going to move on. We do have some important news for Horizon we're going to get to, which I think a lot of you already know. But we're going to take a little bit of interlude, and because we want to make sure we talked about this on the last show. And as of today, is it DA that Phoenix has launched?
As of 1 hour and 56 minutes ago.
1 hour and 56 minutes ago, Phoenix has launched its open beta, Or is it closed beta?
Open beta. You can
it's
create a character, log in, rock and roll with the content that they are planning to release. I believe it's going for a month or two, so you have plenty of time to be able to do it. I logged in just before this recording, just so I can get my hands in there, see how many things are caught on fire. I changed myself to a dancer. They don't have dancer on the server, so there's no job abilities.
That was my question.
Yep, but I activated Terp score and I did Pirate Cleo, so I got my mythic weapon skill off. Then I switched over to Corsair, activated death penalty, and popped some leaden salutes on some birds right outside of Whitegate. I am planning to play hard on that and be able to just mess around as much as possible, just to be able to kind of get a feel for it. But it seems comfortable, seems familiar. I mean, it's the same game, but it doesn't diverge too much from what we're already accustomed to. Obviously, new game, new server. I need to get my settings correct, so I'm probably going to see if I can copy all my settings over from the Horizon, copy it, and put it onto the Phoenix, just to be able to get it instantly comfortability.
Like macros and like
that kind of basic stuff. Just to be able to have, probably macros, some like GM commands, because they do allow the GM commands as well. So you can set your guild limits and your skills and all that kind of jazz, run some assaults, just kind of get my hands dirty with it. But I'm really looking forward to it. When I was on there for 30 minutes. When I logged off, they had almost 300 that had already logged in and were active on the server itself, which is great for a first day evening beta on a Thursday. Yeah, Thursday. So, just wanted to give a quick shout out. It wasn't on fire, so I'm happy so far.
Yeah. All right.
Easy.
Drew, did you have any questions? Because I know you mentioned wanting to maybe ask DA what his experience was like or something.
I saw Dancer and I was like, what kind of jobs are we working with? But it sounds like you just were able to play Dancer.
I can activate it there
on the server.
Yeah. One cool thing I really loved, they have all the mock wardrobes unlocked, and all of them are already full of gear for any kind of situation. So if you want, I have like 13 pouches of different bullets, bolts, and arrows to be able to pop open and stuff like that. I immediately put on a full Denali set from Nazul Isle, just to be able to kind of get a feel for that, etc. But it seems like you don't have to create every individual piece. They have all the wardrobes completely full of just geared low level, mid level, high level, just obviously to be able to kind of manage through it.
Obviously for the beta. Yeah.
Yes.
So
for the beta.
Remind me, are their wings at a certain date, right? Is that what the server intends to be?
I believe the server is the exact server of what retail was all the way up to the day before Wings launched.
Oh,
now,
okay.
The content isn't all there, so they don't have Nazul or anything like that for this beta, because that was going to be my gung-ho. I know Nazul like the back of my hand. But the updates of the game are all the way up to the day before Wings launched. Gotcha. And just like what Horizon's doing, where they're releasing updates and patches of new content, that's what Phoenix is going to be doing as well, except when the server goes live, you're going to be able to go directly to, get level 30 and go to Whitegate and stuff like that. So, it's going to be a little bit more everybody even playing field kind of deal.
So it is intended to be a ToAU server at that point then?
Starting as a ToAU server.
Right. Okay, gotcha.
It's starting as a ToAU server and then going beyond after that.
Okay. With the mention of Dancer, I just wanted to get the kind of like...
the
audience understand.
Dancer, it's kind of the same path as what I guess Horizon was doing, but more retail accurate with less customization.
Gotcha.
Mm-hmm.
Cool.
How long is the open beta going?
I believe a month or two. So plenty of time to be able to kind of get your feet wet.
Cool. Yeah. So definitely tune into DA streams because he'll be streaming some of the beta on that as well. And so there's GT. There is we wanted to continue giving you guys updates on that because it's something DA is involved in. And but Horizon, however, had a mock house meeting on Friday. And I almost want to like go back to the beginning of this episode and like shout out like the date is the 7th of August. Because
put it in big bold letters on the YouTube video.
Yeah, or make it
fireworks.
Make it the title of the episode or something like that. Yeah. Because we've been leading, for those of you who watch the podcast, we've been leading up to this is going to be a Gather Together episode, and we wanted, because that is honestly such an important thing for us that we went to and enjoyed and had a great time. The people are really honestly the important thing. But Horizon also announced, before we got a chance to record this, the release date for ToAU, which we've been wanting. It's been at least 3 solid years of going. When ToAU? Friday. Yeah. Always, right? Okay, so we now have a date of August 7th. I have already put in my PTO.
Same.
Same? Okay.
Same.
And nope. DA is good to go. He's ready to rock.
Nope. I have a 48-hour lockout for raising money for the kids for Children's Miracle Network. So myself and Tall Maple both have a 48-hour lockout where we're not going to do anything. Like, I'm not going to go farm the items or anything that I need.
You told me you would power level me and Dave.
Yeah, I'm aware, but 2 days. You're not getting it.
Oh.
So I'm gonna have Tall Maple and we're planning on having a stream with just like a picture over our camera of standing on the dock and watching everyone go have fun.
So that was what the guys were telling me, is your plan is to just stream the dock, and I think that's perfect.
That's content, dude.
That's content.
Everybody walk by. Content, I'm not even gonna be at the monitor. I'm just gonna have the Squidward looking out the window at Patrick and SpongeBob having fun.
That's just running with their arms up like this.
Yeah, that's gonna be my camera, and I'm just gonna have like In the Arms of the Angel or White Gate music.
Listen,
playing. I don't know which yet.
Do you remember, or it's probably still running, the Vanadil cam or whatever that the official website had forever?
Yes, I've always loved that.
Was it not in Mahara?
No, the Vanadil cam was always active, going through all the zones.
Was it all the zones? I remember. I very specifically. Maybe they changed it at one point or for a period of time to just Selbina because of Ambuscade.
It's Selbina.
That might be. That might be now, I guess. But I remember it going over people that were partying and stuff in like Gideus and stuff like that. So I don't know if is that still active. You can continue. I'm going to look up.
You look that up. Active. I'm gonna move us into talking about this. Because, like I said, I've got my PTO. I am currently negotiating, trying to get my last 2 days. I'm literally wanting to do like 9 days straight, roughly, of streaming, like just being live with Tao. And I know, Druin, you've been, I believe I've mentioned this without you on the episode, but you've been stockpiling your various EXP sources to some extent. Would you mind like going over like what you've got stocked up? Yeah. Do you know off the top of your head?
Yeah, because I actually just prepped my 2 extra anniversary rings today.
Okay.
So yeah, for the uninitiated, Corsair is like the reason I play this video game to begin with. So I'm getting 10 KIS. I'm going to be there day 1, and I'm going to be leveling core. So I have the anniversary ring from the very first anniversary. I've never used a charge. I've got the other 2 anniversary events ready to be turned in, so I can burn the band out, toss it, go get those bands. Be good to go. I've got an EXP ring ready. I've got obviously the EXP ring will be ready to be refreshed. I've got Eco Warrior scroll that I'm planning on using. Then I'm going to go do Eco Warrior and turn it in on a like a reset, and then I'm going to do it again after reset to prep it to be turned in. So in theory, we'll have 3 Eco Warrior buffs.
30,000 EXP.
30,000 EXP with that one, like what is it, like a 2K EXP? Oh, you didn't even get a scroll anymore, right? I think you just get EXP on turn in. No, you get like a 1K EXP scroll or something.
I haven't done Eco Warrior in probably 6 months.
I know, it's been a while, right?
The official live Vanadil camera feed from Square Enix was shut down.
Oh,
sad.
So it's not active. Go ahead. Sorry.
No, and then the Rivenwort. I will have a scroll from Rivenwort. I will have Rivenwort ready to be turned in. I will have Tavnazian Cookbook ready to be turned in. And then the last thing is Uninvited Guests. I will be ready to turn in to see if I can get a scroll from that. So all in, I will have a whole lot of EXP. I didn't even count it.
Off the top of my head, somewhere close to 100K, I would say, of bonus EXP.
It's got to be more.
EXP I guess if you include all the EXP band charges, because those are like 3K each, right? You're doing Chariot, I'd assume, since it's the highest, or what are you?
I'll do Chariot, probably. Okay. Although, it probably is worth a conversation, because like the ideal is I get Corsair to 75 in like, what, 3-4 days?
Right, at which point Chariot would have been half used. So you would have wanted to use Empress.
Probably Empress. So maybe I'll swap over to that because I'm still trying to figure those things out. So
I would suggest Empress. That would be my take.
What is Annie Band? The reset on
Annie Band an
1 hour.
It's
1 hour?
incredibly generous.
Yeah, great. So I'll be able to burn all 3 Annie bands. I should be able to burn 2 Empress bands, and then
I'm with you.
Everything
I got
else.
2 Annies ready to rock and roll.
Oh, you have 2 as well?
Yeah.
Jeez.
I mean, Quetch, I have all 75s, so my man, I don't have anything else to throw my Annie bands at.
High five, man. Yes. All 75. Let's go.
Sweat lords in my podcast.
Our Matt
all 75, all merits done, everything goes
I don't have
to
that.
the
I don't have
defense.
that.
Any merits bad.
I mean, I do have all of, I have all 10 of my merits all done, and I have the 9,999 EXP for like the 11th merit, like ready to go.
For capping out 1 tier 2 merit, if it's 555 or 3 4 555, you're looking at 22 merits for each one, and you got to do 2, and so you're looking at 44 merits per job, and there's 18 jobs. That's how many merits I'll have to get. Yeah, don't make that face. Make that face. I'm all about it.
Terrible.
Let's go.
I hate that.
Let's go.
18 jobs? You want your merits capped?
I got 15 done. So dude, what is 18?
You also get 8 more merits.
3.
Yeah, exactly.
What'd you say? I was too busy being incredulous.
You also get 8 more magic merits. You
also get that's sweet.
New
probably do divine.
I'm looking.
What?
I'm looking forward to isn't there a new drinking with the dev stream in about a week or so?
There is. Is it a week? I'm not actually sure. Do we know the date?
It'll be. I think they said 2 weeks from their last one. So it'll be 2 weeks prior to the launch, which means it'll be a week after we actually.
I actually know the answer to this.
About a week and a half.
I actually know the answer to this.
I hope they talk about Group 2 merits.
The weekend of the 18th, 19th.
Mm-hmm.
And I know we're going to talk about the dev stream, but they've even said we should expect some changes to those merits.
100%. They
already have a lot of the stuff.
They were teased a little while back. It was like Battle Mage was a new merit category. We just didn't know what job it was for.
Do we think spells are still going to be in the categories?
That's a good question. Like Red Mage getting Paralyzed 2, Slow 2, Bio 3, Dia 3. I would say this. I want Bio and Dia. I want the ability to spec into those. I don't want Paralyzed 2 and Slow 2. Because I think those are obvious takes.
We've talked about Red Mage being like, when Merit 2 category comes out, Red Mage becomes more of a specialist. Because, if you go like Dia 3 and Phalanx, you're kind of more of like a tank support Red Mage.
Correct.
You go Paralyzed 2, which in era, Paralyzed 2 was Paralyzed and Slow 2 broken strong.
Yes.
You were the debuff Red Mage, right? So it kind of, I don't know if I want that kind of like build specialization.
100%.
Part of me does, part of me doesn't.
I'm not going enfeebling merits. I think the person going enfeebling merits wants 5 of 5. Come Tau, personally, I would hope that the enfeebling merits will matter more come Tau compared to what they do now in the H&M scene. A little bit of inside baseball DA is right now, even most Red Mages don't even do enfeeble in the H&M scene because they just don't need them. They're overkill for landing enfeebles on Nidhogg, Aspid, whatever.
Elemental or Dark.
So Elemental or Dark are typically taken. But I would, in a world where the enfeebling merits are needed in Tau, that person would also be the one who goes Slow 2, Paralyzed 2, 5 of 5, and provides the enfeebles for the Alliance rather than leaving it kind of open willy-nilly. While, I think there's a world where the Dia 3, 5 of 5 and maybe Phalanx 2, 5 of 5 is like the tank party Red Mage in higher level content. Or possibly Bio 3, 5 of 5.
The issue with going 5, like anything more than 1 in Dia or Bio is it doesn't increase the defense down and the attack down. It just increases the duration.
Oh, it's just duration?
As far as I know, yeah. So it's sense. Like you do 1/1 and then you specialize in either like Phalanx or Slow or
Even still, like specializing in Phalanx would be unique to certain people who spec in that direction.
Yeah,
comparatively.
Phalanx is huge. Yeah. DA.
I was just gonna pivot over to the 4-week lockout for all treasure shops. You said you're getting 75 in the first 4 days. How do you feel about not being able to get into your relic for 4 weeks after you get that?
Do we want to talk about the...
Let's start from the beginning and I think move to what you're saying, DA. Yes.
Go ahead.
Okay. So, yes. So to be clear... No, you're right, and that's what we were doing too. So I'm glad to ground it in that we have a release date for ToAU of the 7th of August, and that we've taken our PTO. We're all ready to go. You know, we're looking forward to it as content. But in terms of the stream did start at a certain place. It started with a little bit of lore to explain what ToAU is, because as I think you correctly pointed out, DA, and I will continue to give you credit for this, is the player count, the end game player count has sort of dwindled as people take breaks, but the overall player count has stayed significant. And that there are enough new or new-ish players to the game that would honestly benefit from saying, what is Treasures of Aht Urghan? Sure. Compared to, even if that number is like 50-50, compared to people who already know and are already looking forward to it. So they started out with that, but then we moved into, I think, the sort of what is the kind of crux of what even this podcast should be covering, the IS, the Imperial Standing. Previous in the podcast, and previously in some of my live streams, DA, and some of your live streams as well, potentially, we have discussed the merits of Imperial Standing as a gate for the entrance to ToAU, and now we have a significant and solid answer to that question. Stick Eric is making an appearance for those of you who are listening to the podcast on audio only.
I'll be good. I promise I'll be good. I promise.
Can I preface with saying, like,
Please.
I think going into this Moghouse meeting, all of us, and I could probably speak for the whole server writ large, we were all hoping we would get an answer to how much IS for ToAU. Right?
Correct.
That was the thing.
And
I guess
with a really close second release date. I
really
think you could have been one or the other in terms of this particular Moghouse and what was coming down the pipes.
Yep.
And we, at the very end, we've obviously buried the lead because everybody knows the release date at this point in time. We've buried the lead. It is coming out on the 7th, but the IS needed, the highest value is 10,000 Imperial Standing. In theory, those are rookie numbers. Is that what you're saying?
No, I said spooky.
Oh, spooky.
I think when people saw that, they said, "Uh-oh."
That's a lot of numbers.
That'll help you avoid the boat because it's an instant teleportation.
Correct.
And there's a bunch of other benefits, including a 30-minute longer sanction and free whatever it's called, wolf fucking teleports or something like that. Wildcat. There we go.
Yes.
Free Wildcat teleports as long as, from what my understanding is, as long as the event is going until the astral whatever it's fucking called gets brought back.
You almost had it.
Yeah.
Almost. Oh, I thought it was permanent. Wait, really? I read that as being permanent.
I don't think we have so everything else is until the astral incandescence is recovered. So it's hard to say whether the Wildcat reduction is until the astral incandescence is recovered.
Not your staging point teleports. Those should just
free.
Be a bank that you have.
Yeah, you have, let's say 20, and once you expend them, you're then spending IS.
Right. Also, I feel like we should say Wildcat teleport, for the people who don't know, is a thing where you teleport from a home nation to Whitegate.
From Whitegate.
You pay money.
To a home nation.
No, I was corrected on this in an IS party.
Really?
I even looked it up. Lure of the Wildcat is in each nation. You do a Lure of the Wildcat quest, and you teleport from the nation to Whitegate. And Juno, which is what they said, the Juno part of that will come later. It will not be on launch.
Wait, hold on.
Good.
Yep.
Hold on.
I got corrected because I was doing my standard thing of saying like I'm pretty sure this is how it goes. My memory is rock solid. And then a friend I was doing IS NMs with was just like, "You're wrong." I looked it up.
Wait
a
second.
Like, right, I'm wrong.
You're wrong. How are you wrong when I remember the same thing you do? So here we go.
Yeah.
So I remember Eric saying that Juno was the only one available on launch.
I remember that differently. But I mean, maybe I got that wrong. But the specifically the thing I was wrong on was it's city to ToAU, not ToAU to city.
It's ToAU to city.
No, ToAU to city. No, Lure of the Wildcat, which is a quest, is city to ToAU. It is an NPC in a city that go. It's kind of like the backdoor Moghouse quests, like how you do those in each city and it gives you that like benefit. You do Allure of the Wildcat quest in every city, and then you get access to teleport.
I'm gonna be honest with you here, Druin. I was pretty confident on this point coming into this show.
So was I. So was I.
And now I'm less confident. I mean,
look, I think DA's fact checking me right now, and I appreciate that.
No, I'm grateful for that.
I'm actually pulling up the actual screenshot they have so I can better.
Okay.
Oh, great. So here's my understanding, and what I posted in a literal
host chat.
In a literal YouTube video. I have to check that on my phone. In a literal YouTube video that I posted today, is my understanding was we would be able to go from Tau to Juno for the reduced cost for the duration of the astral candy, like until we recover the astral candescence.
Well, Tau to Juno was a teleport, but I don't think my memory for Tau, I don't think that was Wildcat. I think that's a different teleport.
Okay.
Wildcat specifically refers to from Nation to Tau. As far as I am aware, and I even just like looked it up, and I see Lure the Wildcat Bastok.
Sure. So my understanding, at least if it is that direction, I will say I do remember Eric saying the only Juno would be available, not the cities.
Could be.
So with that said, whether it's that way to that way, or whether it's Juno to Whitegate or Whitegate to Juno, whatever it is, possibly only available at launch, not these cities until we rescue the astral candescents. That said, a number of other things such as sanction duration will be longer depending upon how many IS you turn in. I'll go as far as to say the graph that DA just posted in the chat, I will post on the screen now. We will also have some number of what are they called? Not the outposts, the
staging point teleports.
Staging points, which cost IS, if I'm correct in that.
Yes.
So you'll be saving IS, and you will have longer sanction, and you will have less items that you have to find in order to get access to Whitegate. So again, on this chart, which is visible on the screen to the people who watch, you will have somewhere between 8 and 0 items that you have to go around Vanadil and collect in order to get access to the boat, which takes you to Whitegate.
Those 8 items are not in the game yet. They will release those custom 8 items that they are making upon Treasure's release. They also said they will be on level 30 mobs and higher. The higher the tier of the mob, the higher the drop rate would actually be. So you can actually farm the lower tiers or the higher tiers, but you need to get dependent on it. If you have 0 IS all the way up to 749, you need 8. The next tier is 6 items, 3 items, 2 items, 1. The only people that do not need to be able to acquire items is the 10,000 turn in and the 5,000 turn in for IS.
And notably the difference between those two, 10K and 5K, 10K will get, once you start the quest to get to boat access and everything, you will just instead be teleported directly to Whitegate. Whereas the 5K players, they don't have to get items, they will get a boat pass, but they still have to take the boat in Mahora.
Which may or may not be an issue on day one due to population size. We don't have any pre-knowledge on that, but some amount of IS will be helpful, and this is the thing that we've been discussing over the past few months. It's like, where is the IS helpful?
And I will say the disclaimer is, if you have 5K, I think you will get into Whitegate early, right? I wouldn't expect the boat to work the first time, so I would just budget your time around that maybe there's going to be some kind of cap or something like that. But I do think you're going to get there quickly. 100%. I don't know how that boat is going to function with 600 people on it at one time. So I don't know what that's going to look like.
So as far as the show is concerned, I will say that we do have some more stuff to talk about that was revealed in this Moghouse meeting. But I think the important thing right now is to talk about Imperial standing. We have had access to turning in the crafts since January, maybe. DA, do you remember when like that originally?
Yeah, it was basically January because I believe it was after the anniversary stream that they announced that kind of stuff. Yeah. And
I alluded to earlier that D and I have had sort of heated conversations, not on the podcast, but I think we should at least bring this up a little bit, dude.
Go ahead.
So we had differing opinions. Where I thought that this event is interesting as a community event, and that help me out a little here, because we had very differing opinions, but
you're on the other side of the coin. Why am I going to help you?
So
sure.
Really, to be honest with you, I think it's easier.
Okay.
I don't know if it's easier. It's more relevant to say nice things about it, right? So it's better to start off with like where DA lands on it.
Sure.
Okay. Yeah. I'll start on there. I love the three things they're trying to be able to do. I love all three of them, which is moderate the amount of people that are funneling into Whitegate, make a fun event, make a guild sync. Those are three things that I think this game needs and requires for this to be successful. I do not like how the communication has been with the actual not telling you shit for the entire time, but also all three of them being bundled into one thing. If this was something where it was three separate things and it wasn't a requirement for you to be able to kind of be ahead of the line or something like that, then I would be a lot more happy with it. If we had the original quest, or even if they did the 8 items situation where you run around the world to get the 8 items to funnel in, and that would have been fine, and still have the mobs for the Imperial Standing, but Imperial Standing not be the basis of the core of how quickly you get there. That's where my problem lies, because it was
too many things.
It was the right three things. You shouldn't bundle them together. I love cake. I love pancakes. I love tacos. Don't put them all three together, because you can make that face, Drew. But just because there are three things that are required or that I enjoy doesn't mean they need to be all pushed together. And that's where my problem mainly lied, because I agree with the event. I think it's awesome. I think it's with the mobs coming out and killing them and being able to like lock down fucking West Ronfar and protect it and stuff like that. That's really cool. That's awesome.
You and I hadn't talked, like, that wasn't even out yet. It was really just the Imperial Standing.
Crafting.
It was really just the crafting. And at that point, I know I had kind of felt like I had seen the vision, and I think where we slowly started to come kind of into the same viewpoint was when the scouts released, and like I had said, like, I think this was a part. I think that the intention was once the crafting reached a certain stage, then the scouts would release into the world. And I feel like that's at that point we started to come together on like a vision of like, okay, if the scouts are out there, we can go out and fight the scouts and then get IS. We don't have to be crafting. Maybe that could be a cool way to acquire IS to get to tower earlier.
Yeah, no, I think that's awesome. I also, again, wish it wasn't an IS requirement. That's the biggest thing.
What would you rather it be?
For being able to get there. I love the 8 items that they specifically are going to custom.
Just launch with 8 items so that everybody
you could have done the 8 items. Yeah, you could have done the 8. You could still done all the bonuses with the staging points and the wildcat and the sanction duration. You could have done all this, but being able to say you farmed specifically, you spent 10 billion gold or gil, and you killed 15 scouts. That means you're more dedicated than everybody else to be able to go, and that you get the front seat. And I like that idea, but at the same time, I don't think IS was the right idea. I love the events. I just don't wish it was bound to this. And
but you don't think it would? It wouldn't. If everybody had to do the same thing on launch day, which is get 8 items. You don't think that would still create an influx of too many people doing the same thing at once? Like, at least with IS, there's another layer that spreads people out.
No, we're talking about being able to separate the people getting on because the whole point of it is to funnel the community, because everybody's been waiting for this longer on Horizon than they did on retail. So the whole community is wanting to get on that fucking boat. And I agree, again, being able to make a fun event, being able to funnel, being able to gill sync, 3 specific things. But I believe being able to get on the boat, it could have been something different that isn't associated with with Gil or in the IS. It could have been something like the OG players that have been here since the beginning. You could have done where your ID is what gets you over. You could have done multiple different things, but I don't like how it's tied to it. I don't like how it feels like an obligation to be able to get it, or your SOL till later.
But it's not that much. Can I push back a hair and say, like, it's not that much later.
It's not.
And it's not really like like, sure, you can view it under the lens of like, oh, the sweaty players are going to get there first, right? But it's also like the players who find the content interesting, who are invested, who are interested in ToAU, like I understand that like that can be equivalent to sweat, but it could also just be equivalent to like, hey, the excited players are the ones who are going to like put in the time and the effort. Like, do I agree with like the IS numbers and the feelings of event? Look, I have feelings
am I not
on
excited
the event too,
or sweaty? Am I not excited or sweaty with my 1575s and everything capped?
But that doesn't mean you're excited and or sweaty about ToAU, right? It means you are that way about 11. I think those are two different lenses, in my opinion.
Yeah,
people who are excited about
content
ToAU
is in ToAU. My favorite content is there. It's
okay.
Saying that it's not because I'm not sweaty or anything. I think that's a broad brushstroke. To be perfectly honest with you,
that's fair. I'm trying to like get the lens because personally, I think that they have an unsolvable problem, and they're doing what they can do to try to get there. And look, I might be doing a little bit of mental gymnastics. I think that's a fair criticism, but it's also like they have to do something because we all of us can agree if they just release it on day one with no barriers, the server wouldn't exist.
I agree. Yeah. Like I said, three different things that I absolutely know they need to do, and they should do it. I just don't like how they were all put together on there. Three separate. Like, again, the whole point, when we were in Vegas, we talked to them before this release. They specifically said, we like the idea of what the trees were for unlocking outposts for the server. We want to do something like that for treasures. And I was like, that's cool. A community event, killing, Medusa, walking through Buburimu or whatever it may be. Those events, those are perfect. Those are great. But again, it gets clouded by being able to pull in a gill sink and be able to pull in a filter system. If there were three separate things, I think I would have enjoyed it much more because I could have been like, these two are the things I want to focus on. But now it's all tied together, and that's what deters me a little bit.
May I ask you, so I feel like we've been talking kind of the interim here. As of like today, are you like aware of so this is an interesting setup, right? Because our last episode, we said something along the lines of people are spawning world bosses, and I think it's something people are participating in. It sounds cool. I don't think either of us had done it yet at that point in time.
No, you did it like right after the stream.
I did.
Yeah, I hadn't really done it.
Right after the recording, I think, yeah. Or so.
I knocked out 2 just the other day, just because I wanted the experience and the fun with it. Yeah, I don't care about the IS. I wanted to do it for the experience.
So let me just ask
enjoyment.
Let me just ask you then, DA, specifically, what are your feelings on how your experience fighting the boss, your the idea of the amount of IS needed, and the entry to ToAU post that? I'm curious how you feel in your
if you didn't chuck over gold or your time and being able to find the items to be able to turn in, you need to kill, I believe it's like 10 to 15 world bosses or the world pops to be able to get enough for the minimum requirement to get into ToAU for IS standing. Correct?
So it's 7. No, it's 3.
Go ahead. 3 what?
3 world.
How much IS do you get for doing a world boss?
Well, hold on. What do you consider the minimum? Like you got to define that.
There's
What's
two,
the minimum we're getting?
Okay. Sort of two things I'd call minimum. 0.
Let me re-ask the question. Okay. How much IS do you get for doing a world boss? Period.
375.
Okay, so how many do you need to do to be able to feel comfortable? You're wanting 10K, right? You guys are both wanting 10K.
Well,
right?
But I'm not only doing world bosses.
I agree. I'm just asking if somebody was now interested of not dumping gil or their time into farming items or crafting, and they saw this as an opportunity to be able to do something that they wouldn't want to be able to participate, that is actually fun, or something that they want to be able to engage with. How many would they need to be able to get the 10K?
The 10K?
The answer's a lot.
The 10K is the highest amount.
Okay, then pick a number.
I don't think 10K should be the bar for like the average player.
We'll just say minimum.
Okay,
mid. Like if you're getting 300 and some, mid would be what, 10, right?
It would be.
You get 10.
It would be specifically actually 2. Wait, 375, Drew?
375.
So that's 6.
That's the minimum
750.
requirement. That's minimum.
Let's define what line on that graph we consider like the average or minimum or whatever language you want to use.
Well, technically 5K is half, but let's just say half of that actual chart. So let's say 3K. 3K would be 10 of those, or just under 10.
9. 8.
Right.
Yeah, 8.
So you could do technically when they announced these and these started spawning, you have a month and 3 weeks? So you have about 8 weeks. You could do
that,
1 a week.
That's actually longer. They would be about a month and a week. So it would be like 5 weeks.
Okay. So in 5 weeks, you would need to do 8 of them. So you'd probably knock out 1 or maybe 2 a week, depending on if it's a slow week or busy.
No, way more. Way more. Mega bosses a week? Way more.
Yes. No, I'm not saying what you would want to do to hit that minimum 3K.
I see what you're saying. I'm sorry.
Yes.
Yeah. It would have to be 2 a week.
Okay, so you're looking at 2 a week. That's not a problem. You do dynamices like that. I mean, you can do, limbuses and stuff. So being able to kind of hop on, wait for a shout, and be able to join up the group, or being able to go out there and wait for it to spawn. They're frequently spawning enough, and 2 a week isn't bad. That is something that people can engage with and be able to participate with. Yes, not being able to see the mobs. Right, with 0 crafting, sometimes you can't see the mobs, sometimes they pull it over to all the dead people, but it seems to be people using shouts, hey, this guy's gonna ninja 2 hour in exactly 1 minute and 30 seconds, make sure you pull it away this way. That is a lot more fun and engaging. Like I said, I don't have a problem with any of the 3 things that are required. This is something that is great, and being able to do 2 a week, that's perfectly fine. That's decent pace for a lot of people, even if you're a casual dad streamer, not a sweaty, being able to hit that mark. That is great. I love that. There's nothing negative about it besides obviously too many fucking people and people throwing Dia on it and kiting it into dead people. But that's MMOs for you, baby.
And I will say, you said 3 different things. I'll throw on a 4th to your credit and say this is also mini besiege test, right?
Yeah.
It's like server stress testing for
yeah.
So anyway, continue. I just wanted to
no. So again, I don't have a problem with the different things that they're doing. I just had a problem with all of it being put into one wheelhouse, and that was my issue. Because if they would have came out with the, hey, if you're not a fighter and you're a crafter, you could do this option at the same time, you could do this option. If it came out 10 weeks, or say the world bosses came out the same time the crafting did, but they're a fifth of the reward on it, you could bounce in between the two and be able to choose what you feel most comfortable with. But at first it was a gil sync, all your gil or your time to be able to do this. And then you have this option. I'm not saying it minimizes the people that did the gil side of things, because that was the point. That was one of those 3 that I was pointing out.
Interestingly, I think that's where it landed. So currently right now, the gil sync versus the time spent fighting mega bosses is actually a real trade-off. You could literally just go shove gil into it and work on things versus waiting for a boss to spawn. But waiting for a boss to spawn is kind of okay, so say you do 2 or 3 a week, which is relatively a decent time commitment, not bad. It's probably less than your average dynamis
3 to 4 hours a week.
Said. Yeah, 3 to 4 hours a week. You could kind of pursue either avenue. If you do both, you'll probably hit that 5 to 10K mark.
Yeah.
So I personally, kind of, not to say I was kind of leading the conversation there, is I feel like it kind of landed in that ballpark of you could hit the kind of average if you just participated. Versus having to be spending a lot of gil or spending a lot of time.
Right. Our main disagreement was prior to the world bosses in an alternative way. It was gil or time. That's all you get. And I was like, fuck that.
Correct.
I agree.
Yeah.
That's where my issue was too, because I know that Quetch and I had this conversation as well.
Yeah, that's where we had our issue.
It is 100%
that the original vision was communicated properly. And I think that they cleaned it up and they got there, but I also don't think it's a good look that the first part of your event is, hey, spend a ton of gil for what seems like IS, because the issue is players know how much IS to expect. So when you have veteran players who turn in a ton of gil for 100 IS, it doesn't feel good. And it's not communicated, hey guys, the dev team never came out and said, hey, we know it's a small amount of IS. We promise it will still be relevant. I understand, we understand how this looks, but we're playing with small numbers on purpose. We didn't get any of that. They said, we have an event going, good luck. And we didn't, and there was no communication.
Sort of post-mortem. Go ahead.
No, I was just gonna say, that was my original issue with it until we got, to be honest with you, I had that same issue with scouts until we got mega bosses, because the mega bosses to me brought the whole thing together in a way that it's like, okay, there's just 3 moving parts that all now finally make sense together.
Yeah. So I will say post-mortem, if we had been told at an explicit percentage of time, and this is where I will admit my sort of like idea, like, oh, I think this vision will work, kind of had a hole in it, is if we had been told at X number of percentage in the crafting guild, there would be some cool thing happen. I think even just that would have sparked enough players to go, setting expectations that something cool would happen, I think would have gone a super long way towards bridging the viewpoints that I think honestly, I think DA and I had in opposition to each other, which to me really helped me kind of figure out where I stood and what I was interested in even seeing. Let alone,
dude, I was so mad at you. I was so mad. I was like, this fucking cuck sitting there saying that's gonna be this is the healthiest the server's ever been. I was so pissed. I unfollowed your stream for like 3 months, man. I'm not
3 months. Fuck you, dude.
Go check your emails. I followed this week. I refollowed this week.
And I do want to just kind of like address that because I honestly I've really enjoyed having those kind of conversations with people. We straight up disagreed, and
100%.
I like I said, I had a blind spot in the idea that there was sort of some communication missing, and now I kind of see what it is. I will say, so thanks for thanks for arguing with me. I love a good argument. Drew knows
I love a debate too. You just got to be able to wiggle. You got to be able to. With my dad's political stance, I've learned that sometimes it's best not to argue with people anymore. It's talking to a fucking wall. So what you do is you just say, and then you move on with your life. And that's what the point we got to, because it was neither one of us were wiggling.
Yeah.
Once we actually had some more things, we can start wiggling and start
100%.
having these conversations. But that's the reason I consider you a friend, because when it's somebody who's not a friend, you'll sit there and be like, all right, fuck this guy. And you're done.
Brother, arguing is 70% of the content our content static does.
I was about to say, Drew and I cut our teeth on arguing with each other.
Yeah. Well, to be fair, I come from like I love 11. I love 11, but I do come from like a background of like I really like modern like much more like modern MMO, like game design, like stuff like that. Like I really enjoy that. And I think of you as more of like you're a more classic guy. You like the really like the grindy nature, the stuff like that. And sometimes we just butt heads on that, man. Like we
100%.
just don't get there.
We're all unique. That's why
But I have nothing but glowing things to say about the event now.
So personally, yeah, that's kind of where I want to lead into is I think I think the world bosses are sort of the capstone to this IS event, and they're it seems to be a really well-received piece of content in the community. If you have anything opposing to that, DA, I would love to hear it. I know Druin's been really involved. I have been semi-involved. You just go out, you fight mobs, and you fight the world bosses.
See them, and then you die, and you're like,
yeah. I mean, how much do you want to explain in terms of like this whole? Because it is one giant loop that feeds into itself.
So go ahead, DA. You have something to say?
I was just gonna say, and hindsight's 20/20 when you look at events and how it's received as well. I like the idea of the testing for quote unquote besiege with that many people fighting mobs and seeing where your problems lie. Yeah. I also think it would have been I just thought of that where you kill the scouts and they could drop like an orb, and then you can use that orb with a party of 6 to go to a specifically made BCNM that drops IS for your group that of 6 that goes in. Something where it's a custom thing.
That's not again, actually going on, but it's a cool idea.
Right. That's hindsight 20/20. So I mean, I can complain, but no, go ahead with your IS.
Yeah. So I want to just kind of set the stage here. There are sort of 3 stages to the IS event that have kind of developed. One is turning and crafting to raise the percentage of the available help we've been giving to Aht Urghan. That started spawning the various scouting groups, which you could go and claim a mob as an alliance within the various zones in Vanadil. And those mobs would give you IS, and they would also drop some sort of, or at least they currently drop some sort of supplies. When you get 7 of those drops, I believe 7 is the correct number, Druin?
So supplies specifically is something different.
Okay.
When you kill a scout, you have a chance of getting a scout report.
Scout reports.
Yes.
If you get the scout reports from different zones?
Yes. So there's 7 zones, both of the Ron 4s, both of the Gustabergs, both of the Sarutas, and Boo Boo.
Gotcha.
Boo Boo
So those previously listed zones, if you personally acquire all of them, you can go to a spot in, is it just the starting zone? What are the zones for spawning a world boss? Do you know off the top of your head?
All of the world bosses, I think, can spawn in any of the 6 starter zones. But like, what happens is when you get 7 reports of the same tribe, so that's a Lamia report in every zone, you now can pop Medusa, the Lamia super boss. You take those reports to a guild. Outside of every guild, there's 3 NPCs. One of those NPCs collects your reports and keeps track. That NPC will tell you what zone to go to pop the mega boss that you have all of the reports to. As far as I have not done it personally,
You're
but
close,
as far
though.
as I know, that is how it functions.
You're close. Aren't you like 5 of 7 on like Medusa?
I am 5 of 7. I need 2 more reports to pop a Medusa.
Okay.
As of this recording, yeah.
So TLDR, there's sort of this mid zone where it's like 18 people fighting scouts, getting their IS, acquiring scouting reports. When an individual gets 7 of them, they can pop a world boss, which everybody can fight, which DA alluded to earlier. As sometimes you don't even see mobs spawning and whatnot. May I recommend, for example, putting on FPS 4 to be at a 15 FPS cap? There are, I will say, I have personally set up my install of Horizon and FF11 in general to like utilize my video card using like DG Voodoo or D3D proxies. So like I have less issues with these kinds of things, but the average user may have issues where mobs aren't kind of like spawning on screen and whatnot. But if we eliminate that and just say there's a sort of besiege style event that's going on that is server wide, and you can walk away with roughly 350 IS per spawn, which are spawning 375, which are spawning multiple per day, is the amount of people getting the amount of IS that you would need to feel comfortable going into tower release has increased drastically since that has become a more server-wide event.
Yes. And notably, bosses and I apologize. The scouts and the packs that you fight in that alliance, you average about 40 IS per pack that you complete. So as you're building scouting reports, it's not a lot of IS, but you are slowly building up IS as well.
Okay. So some number 40 plus, maybe 80, maybe 120, depending upon how things go. Would you say from those scouting report from those like alliance-wide fights?
Well, they're pretty much average 40 a fight, and each fight takes about 15-ish minutes.
Okay, gotcha.
And then you'll move on to go find the next pack. I mean, if anyone's familiar with Final Fantasy 14, it's very similar to like a hunt train, but just more in the style of 11.
It acts very much like a hunt train. Certain people are setting up alliances. Certain people are going and finding the right information and going and fighting the thing.
Keeping track of TODs.
Yes.
Keeping track of who has reports. There's a handful of very, very awesome people who are keeping a track and are doing their best to organize people to get pops specifically for the server.
Correct. Because an individual person needs to have all 7 scouting reports.
Correct. So you want to slot people into certain scout fights so that they have a chance of getting the report so they can build yada, yada, yada. It is a cool. One of the big things, positive things I have to say about this, it is so community driven, and there's so much way to do this efficiently with communication amongst players, which has always been a strong suit of 11, and I think that's really cool.
Yep, love that.
Yeah, I've been listening to you, Drew, and rant about it, and I agree.
I'm a big fan of this, man.
Yeah, I've only participated in the world bosses. I haven't gotten to do any scouting myself, but your description leads me to think like, this is kind of where 11 is at its finest to me, is when it has a variety of player count content. You have the small player content, sort of the medium player content, whether it be party or alliance, and we now have an additional function of the large player content, which is the world boss spawn. And having like engaging things across that spectrum to me makes this game a really interesting one. And which in some ways, like you said, 14 kind of does on its own as well, sort of. I mean, they have that variety as well, and that's one of the positive things I take away from that game. But that is the IS. So do you guys have anything we should add to this? I feel like we've talked about it. The players should go and experience it. Yeah.
I look forward to farming all 8 items. I am trying not to pass the 750 mark. because
Fair
I want to
enough.
go out and farm the level 30s. I want to take a look at the drop rates, the higher tiers. I mean, I think it'll be pretty easy to take a TH4 75 full merited
I agree.
thief to a level 30 area and just
Yeah, I
clap
agree,
some
yeah.
cheeks. So I'd like to see what those custom items are. Because I think that they'll all be either callbacks or something fun that they're going to put in. It's not just going to be like a rabbit tail. It's going to be like Stick Eric and stuff like that. It's going to be like little fun
Eric.
things that they put in the game.
Dude, if Stick Eric is an item, I am.
That rocks.
Yeah.
I'm for it.
I'm not gonna. I almost brought up something in the code. I'm gonna do all 8 items and
like a dat, like a dat farm, like a.
There is a dat file and there's.
Oh, yeah. I know what you're talking about.
You get it.
We may find out come treasures whether there's a specific dat once people start dat farming. Yeah. Why is this term escaping me? What do they call it? Dat mining. Dat mining. Yes, mining. Thank you.
Yeah.
Once people start dat mining treasures, maybe they might be seeing something fun from the podcast. But
I'll go the other side on that if I can and say I don't think going to 5K or 10K is unreasonable as of the. I don't know when this is gonna go.
I'm hoping to air on Monday.
Okay, then I think
Monday,
even as of Monday, I think
that'll be the 13th. So we'll have 20-something days left between.
Well, set the 5K as the minimum goal. You have, 3 weeks to be able to do 10 or 5K, which means you need to pop off, 4 a week?
Well, even outside, I want to encourage players to if you like crafting, feel free to check the guilds.
Yeah.
I honestly encourage do ISNM hunting parties. I think they're a lot of fun. And
the crafting is a little bit of a problem nowadays because so many people are doing it and trying to get their IS. That shit's hitting the cap and disappearing while they're working on it. So you have to be mindful of things. That.
You need to be aware.
Again, that comes to community tracking to me, where it's like, again, if you're in the conversation around like this kind of event, which I think is the point, you'll know where that guild is at. And you'll know what people are doing. Like, you'll know everybody's turning in fire sand. You know what I mean? So only craft a little bit and turn in a little bit at a time. Like, I understand where you're coming from. I don't love it. I don't love the crafting side of this. I understand it, but it's not my jam. But I encourage people to like try out the ISNM hunting parties. I think they're super fun. I think the community is really cool around it. And honestly, a little bit of mix of the hunting parties and the mega bosses, and truly, like, you'll get to 5K, you'll get to 10K. Even if you get to the one where you only need to go find one item, like, don't be discouraged. It's really not that bad.
Yeah. The lesser amount of items you require, I think, is gonna feature most prominently to those people who like are at the sort of mid game, or maybe they don't have all their outposts, maybe they don't have a TH4 thief. And it's like you can put in the extra time just doing a couple extra world bosses and hit that like 5K mark where you're now all of a sudden being able to circumvent, some of the extra running around Vanadil that you might not have to do. It's an interesting balance. And to your point earlier, Druin, it's like it's an unsolvable problem, but like we're giving players a way to engage with it. And you'll either engage a little or a lot. Either way, you'll find yourself in Whitegate sooner than later. I don't think
at a minimum people are talking about it.
Yeah.
Which is, if the word ToAU's getting thrown around in a positive light, because we know it's coming soon, this event is doing its job, however you feel about it.
Yeah. And even with 8 items, I think, and as far as streamers are concerned, DA, I can see myself running around helping people farm items once I've done all the things I need to do for the day, whether it's my assault tags or whatever, and just running around helping newbies like find their items because they came to this event late.
That'll be fun.
Yeah.
I mean, if you did all the turn-ins for what are the anniversary quests and farmed those items, you're accustomed to doing this anyways. But this will be a lot easier.
Yeah, sort of mini version of that. That's a good point.
Yeah. I'm cool with that. I've done all those. Yeah, hell yeah.
Yeah, and you obviously, you specifically locked yourself out for 2 days from ToAU. So, like, you're kind of, like, outside of this conversation as is.
Yeah, I'm not doing anything anyways. I'm staying in the dock for 48 hours. I'm going to put a timer up, and it's going to count down. Fuck it.
I love it.
It's for the kids, man. 100% worth.
Awesome.
So you're not even going to go hunt the items until the 2 days have passed?
Correct. I'm not going to do anything for the first 2 days. You're saying it like it...
You're a brave man, and I appreciate everything that you do and who you are as a person.
What's 2 days? What?
A lot. 2 days is
I'll have assaults
levels
unlocked.
of my Corsair.
That's right. It's not going to be a problem. There's people that literally just start the game and they're finding COP groups. So I mean, I'm not going to have a problem 2 days late. You'll be fucking Whitegate.
No. And I don't think a lot of the player base will have issues. Like I think there's a lot of talk about the initial release, but I think it'll level off as to like this is just honestly ToAU, one of the greatest expansions, my opinion, one of the greatest expansions to an MMORPG of all time. I just think it adds so much to the game that they realized was missing or they wanted to make or just the new jobs themselves. I'm really looking forward to a lot of it. So,
all right. Yeah.
Rock on.
Hell yeah.
There's no dance or DA, but it is what it is. Well,
I was lied to. Day one. But continue. We got some more screenshots to quickly go over.
All right.
How long until we get to wings?
I
like how they said they're looking for updates every quarter. That gave me. I was very happy to hear that. Yeah. Now I don't know if updates meant the 2.1, 2.2, 2.3 were the updates of those things. They could be just little updates, but if we have clarification where they're like, yeah, every 3 months we're going to be coming out with a point unless something
like
occurs.
Content update.
I loved hearing that because my initial assumption was best case scenario 6 months, worst case 1 year on each. And that was best and worst case. But when I heard 3 months on it, I was like, oh, that's fucking awesome. Because 3 months of being able to just get your 3 jobs, work on the 3 jobs, get the gear 100%. Going on it, and then you have Nazul right behind it.
Yeah.
Ooh. Yeah, I'm ready.
Yeah. So go ahead, Jordan.
I was going to say 2 things. I mean, maybe we should just say how we felt about the stream in general.
Best stream.
Well, there's more stream to go over, right? It isn't much. Sorry. And it's weirdly not much because the IS is really the big talking point, and then the release date is the talking point. But there was more to the stream. And I honestly think we can just bounce between the last final points that the stream contained and probably be fine. In terms of new jobs, my experience was the only thing they talked about was the only thing they mentioned that wasn't already previously mentioned. Pup they're specifically making sure that it can spec for both DPS and tank and otherwise.
Healer.
Yeah, and healer.
They also emphasized tank for blue.
They had a long pause when they were talking about blue and tank. They were like DPS, healer, and tank, and they long paused it. And I don't know if that was on purpose, but it made a lot of blue mages like, oh, yay. So, I mean.
Oh, yay.
Well, there's a little bit more to talk about on this. What else?
Go ahead.
What else you got? I'm going to make sure you hit them.
I mean, there was some teaser stuff for ToAU that I was personally not familiar with. There was some screenshots, and there was like a new BCNM looking entry in their screenshots, and it looks like they might be adding like custom BCNMs or something. I'm not sure.
It looked like Ashu Talif, if anyone remembers that zone you go to enter into stuff.
Yeah, it's like a weird.
It looked like a custom fight.
Right.
Yeah.
Did you have anything to add, DA?
The appraising of items.
Correct.
For the ruby, the blood, wood log, the hydroscale. That appraisal, what do you think it's from? Because I have my own theory.
So
that was a tease.
That's what NNI looks like. Neo-Nizal Isle, which is like, so and normal Nizal Isle is like you fight like Jagged Ear Jack, you get like question mark necklace. But like the thing about the original balance of those items is you could take 1,000 items. It'd be like 1,000 random valueless necklaces, and then maybe the 1 in 1,000 gets you the rabbit charm. But like there was no middle ground. It was either awful or the one good item. So it looked like they're adding roughly like high to mid value items to their appraisals, but I don't know what that content could come from. It should be coming from Nizal Isle.
There you go. That was my
point. I got a hot take that it's going to be not just from Nazul Isle, because like why show that now when Nazul doesn't come out for like 3 patches?
2.2 or whatever.
2. It's the next patch after Treasures.
Is it 2.1?
2.1.
Okay.
It's Nazul is 2.1?
Yep.
Oh, all right. Well, forget what I said. Okay.
I'm pretty sure it's 2.1.
I thought it was 2.3.
I think you're right.
2.1. Nazul Isle, H&M Tier 3, Food Rework Part 1,
all right.
Dynamics.
So they're looking to do Nizal pretty early.
Yeah.
Yeah, I don't know if that's for 2.1 or we're going to have access to it prior, but Nizul's my baby, so that's the one thing I got really hyped for. What about the 4-week lockouts of Relic gear and Limbus gear?
It's fine.
Give your opinions,
fine.
chat.
I think it's silly. I think it's silly, but I think it's fine.
It may be fine. You are going to have 75 in 4 days, so what is it, other 3.5 weeks without having your Relic, right?
Yeah, my question is why? Like, why do it?
That's my point. Why?
It feels like wasted dev effort, because, like, who gives a
How
crap?
much dev effort do you think is going into not putting something in for 4 weeks? It's actually less dev effort.
Even the thought going into your mind to say, hey, we should delay this is more effort than that solution is worth. Like, it just, why do it? I don't understand.
What do you think,
fine.
PA?
Like,
I don't see a point in it, just like I don't see the point in being able to restrict you unlocking mythic weapon skills when Azul drops. There's not a point in these things unless could we have communication about why? Maybe a description of this is our thought process behind it.
Quetch is going to learn us here.
No. I have nothing. My opinion is. So I actually do have an opinion on the Relic gear. Is give people a little bit of something to look forward to on the job that they spam to 75 in 4 days. I think that. I think that you're eliminating some dynamics congestion on the early server, on the early expansion release. I think less people will be trying to get into Dynamist and just to get their AF gear or the Relic gear, and it could potentially limit dynamics congestion. That's it.
So
that's my only opinion.
Dynamics congestion for 4 weeks, and then you have the exact same issue.
Hold on. The people who are spamming their jobs to 75 aren't going to be going into Dynamics to get AF anyway. Like, they're going to spam to 75 and then go do it. In which case,
we want to make sure we ease the brakes off them getting their Relic. So what we're going to do is move that problem 4 weeks, so it's the exact same fucking problem in 4 weeks. That makes no sense.
I could be convinced. I could be convinced either way. I'm just saying, like, I think it makes. I think it
sound like you can't be.
It's the kind of thing that
I don't see anything wrong with delaying it. I don't see anything wrong with keeping it. That's my thing. Is like I'm normally an ambivalent person.
Wrong. The point. What's the point of delaying it?
Sure.
Yeah. It's the kind of thing that makes me like look at them and want to like put my hand on their shoulder and be like, "Are you okay? Like, why would you go down this path?"
We want to make sure that people can earn their relics and the ease of the congestion of Dynamis. So that exact same problem is going to happen in 4 weeks.
Sure.
You get less congestion if you release it immediately because the people who aren't leveling their job can go get the stuff, and then the people who finish leveling their job can then go get the stuff. It doesn't. It doesn't make sense.
My thought is, I would have loved if they actually had it where it had like a very low % drop of dropping before Treasures releases as a hype train situation. You see one blue mage.
You've lost
drop.
me.
I was just saying, use it as a hype train, but delaying it 4 weeks, I don't see a point.
So,
and I can't
blaming on congestion is the stupidest thing I've ever heard.
I cannot stress enough that like my answer to that question is like it's fine. I don't. Who cares? But also, why?
It doesn't change anything. I think that's the biggest thing. It doesn't bother me, but at the same time, it makes no sense.
They could just tell us why, and it would solve all of this concern. Maybe like.
Pivot to the next thing since we're talking about Dynamis.
Go ahead.
Yeah. Lockouts.
Account lockouts for Dyna.
Yep. I do want to point before everybody starts rage typing, which everybody has been.
Already rage typing.
Exactly. Angry internet noises. They said number 1, temporary. And number 2, they didn't give how many.
Yeah.
So we don't know we don't know information on what their plan is on it. Now, if I had to guess
4.
I would assume 3 to 4, to be honest with you.
3 to 4 is where I'm at. Otherwise, why implement lockouts? It's like one character can do Dynamis, or 3 to 4.
Yeah,
I think that they just don't want that third character coming into play, which is I got complicated feelings on, but I'm not a Dyna guy, so I feel like I should take a step back from having an opinion on this one a little bit, but I think it'll be 4. Yeah. I think it'll be 2 characters.
No.
I don't know where this is coming from. Is sort of my. I'll actually give some sort of negative feedback about this one. Is I don't know. He's like, who is this on my podcast? I don't know where sort of like if you're above, even if you're at 4, you're kind of like, how much could you possibly be damaging the overall Dynamis access economy? I can't imagine it's that many, because that's literally like, let's say 2 hours for your runs. That's literally 8 hours of your life a week. That's like half like a part-time job. Like, there can't be enough people doing 4 lockouts that it's an issue. Are there so many people doing 6 that is an issue to create lockouts? What sort of lockout system do you do? Do you do 3 or 4? But then, to me, this is one of the few times where I say I don't actually see where the problem lies.
Let's get a baseline. How much of the population do you believe runs 6 dynamic or 4+ dynamics a week?
4+
is a lot.
I can't even imagine.
5 or 6. What's the percentage of it?
Less than 5%. I'd say maybe between 2 and 5% of the population. If I had to just bullshit a number out of thin air, that's where I'd go. 2 to 5% of the population running 4 dynamics plus.
I think I'd land on like 5 to 8%. I think that's probably fair. I think a lot of the endgame community is. I think a lot of it is.
A lot of it? Some of it?
I think a lot of it. Endgame community wise, I think a decent bit of it is.
I know maybe like 10.
Don't go
but they're a small majority of the population, like, to be clear.
Correct. The endgame portion is a small majority, and then the people who do Dynamis is a small majority, and the people who do 4+ Dynamis is its own small majority.
What's the point of it? Is it to be able to alleviate some of that extra push
Correct.
or the time congestion?
Yeah.
Correct. Is it to open up new zones? I don't know if that's going to help. Well, whatever that might be.
Currency out, because like currencies are, I mean, zones are still going to be locked down. That's not changing.
Yeah, if
you know what I mean?
We took our numbers of anywhere between 2 and 10% of the population does more 5 or 6 runs, then you're only removing 10% of the amount of extra people running. It's not going to alleviate that much of the fighting during either regular or primetime hours.
Correct. It is.
Do you think that was the original reason of being able to implement like the mana wall situation, so they couldn't low man burn it as easy, even though that had 0 effect on that? Do you think it's to be able to eliminate the low man running, or being able to pull back on the amount? Yeah, I'm not saying it will. What I'm saying is that they've tried minor things. They've what is it? They smacked a bull with a feather trying to resolve this situation. Both with the mana wall, trying to pull that back, and then the amount of runs you can do. They're trying to eliminate the congestion on this, because our server population is going to go up, regardless of if it's day of we get the relics for the 3 jobs, 4 weeks, or a year later. It doesn't matter, because it is constant of being able to have that shit locked down. Whether it's people that preload and have been for the past 3 years, whether it's the low mans because you have alts that you level just for that case.
Correct.
There's always a problem with the congestion, and I thought the mana wall was a way to kind of help with the congestion, where you have to take a few more. Nothing. And this one, I think, is eliminating a bigger feather they're hitting the bull with, but I still don't think it is a solution to the problem itself, because their goal, my opinion of their goal, is to alleviate the pressure without it making instances, which we know works on other servers.
I think their goal is to get non-Dyna players the ability to maybe go into Dyna.
There are servers that have instance dynamics.
I call bullshit.
Okay. I don't know the name of it, but I will call it out. Please put it in the chat, guys.
Yeah, no, I'd be willing to hear it. Just my understanding of how the client works. Ultimately, one of the biggest fights that we fight as private server players or private server devs is the client itself. So, which actually we could probably just I'm not sure how much there is to say on this. I'll obviously let people say their piece on the Dynamis situation, but we do know that assaults are going to be full instances, as according to this recent stream we watched. But Dynamis is not fully instanced. It is one zone. It's like saying I'm gonna go to Ronfar and I'm gonna farm Jaggedy Jack, but you can't. It's like you don't get a separate instance of Ronfar. There's only one Ronfar on the Horizon server. There's only one Dynamis Bastock on the Horizon server. And unfortunately, we don't have any technology to circumvent that. As opposed to Assault, which has a code where you send a packet to the server and it says you are in instance A and the Druin is in instance B. You guys cannot see nor interact with each other. But when this packet is sent, we know that you are in separate instances. So I would be happy to be proven wrong on that, DA. But my understanding does not go that far to say that Dynamis can be instanced. And I'll go.
I'm not saying it should be. What I'm saying is they're trying to be able to alleviate the pressure on this server.
I agree with that.
A couple different methods, and that's what my viewpoint is of them doing the account lockout even for a temporary time frame.
So right. So I don't know here, and here's where I stand on this. And because I even started off saying I'm not totally gung ho. I'm not totally positive on these changes because I don't think it's solving any problem. If your person is gonna say the problem is the Dynamis is too congested. That's an issue with the way the game is built to function, not with persons 65 through 70 that can do 4 Dynamics a week compared to the first 65 people. Like 5% of the population does 4 Dynamics, 2% of the population does 6, and I don't think eliminating those people is going to improve a perceived congestion issue. And so I don't think this is necessarily a good change unless there's something I'm misunderstanding at the server level.
If they go the severe route and they do 2 per account, that would do something, but it would suck.
Yeah. I almost feel like it would be pointless because it's just like without like spitting out like random numbers. It's like say 100 people run 4 Dynamics a week as opposed to 2. Or 3, let's say 3. They go 1 over a 1 character limit. That's 100. Consider it like 100 extra people running Dynamis, not 100 people who have a second account. And it's like, well, at what point is this a congestion issue? At what point is it just the way the game functions? And how do we alleviate this? I don't know, and I don't know a good answer.
I'll devil's advocate a little bit, and it's not necessarily saying that I agree with that, but say they go the severe route and they say every account can only do 2 on a temporary basis.
2 across 3 characters.
2 across 3 characters. In theory, we've just agreed that would alleviate congestion on some level. It would allow people who aren't Dyna players, right? It would allow players who don't do Dyna but have just leveled like Corsair and Blue Mage and Puppet to then maybe have a greater odds of getting into a Dynamic zone to then go farm their gear. Again, I'm not saying I agree with it, but I think on some level, that's where I think their head is.
That's the goal.
Right. But I'm kind of with you. It's kind of an inherent problem to Dynamics than it is anything else.
No.
We could sit here and talk all day about whether or not Dynamics could be instances or couldn't. It's not on horizon. It's probably not going to be. So I think that they're trying to find a way to get this large influx of new jobs like AF, and then you stated it's temporary and then go back to the way that it was. I will also say they're also talking about randomly changing Dynamics other stuff. Right.
Yeah, there's a Dynamis rework on the 2.1, if I'm not mistaken.
Correct. I hadn't thought about it until you just said it, but yes, there is a mention of a Dynamis rework, and I don't know what that could mean.
That's honestly, it sounds like this is prepping us for a Dynamis rework.
That was my lead-in.
Maybe that's it.
I think that this could be leading into being like, hey, it doesn't have to be mana burned anymore. You can do like all this stuff, or you know what I mean? Like maybe currency drops scales to number of players in zone. Like I'm just bullshitting, but like, who knows what route they're going, right? I don't know.
No, and there's a long-term health of the community. I think one thing that's going to be understated until it actually occurs is the amount of time investment to retain the sort of game loops in ToAU is actually kind of like it's just not understood right now. As we get access to Assault, Nizul, and then eventually Einerjar, etc., like you're going to be spending 85 to 90% of your time doing ToAU loops, and then you're going to fit in like Dynamis, etc. into that. And I just think like, a world where doing less Dynamis for more currency to work on a relic is like reasonable when the rest of your time is spent keeping current on the current content.
Yeah, I think the fact that they called it temporary is a good thing, because if they didn't, it would be a lot bigger of an issue. But if I'm thinking of it as a Band-Aid, it's like, hey, I just kind of want more info more than anything else. Because again, coming from a non-Dyna guy, like I don't know the inner workings as well as I know you do it pretty regularly, Quetch. So
yeah, I'm on one end of it, and I think DA probably does more Dynamis than I do, but is in
my Dynamis run right now.
Yeah. But is in the more like normal runs. I'm here to farm currency gear, my DKP or whatever, I'm in the like I do a small man run, but I do it once a week. So I literally get one run in. So we're kind of a little dabbled in, but not quite to the extent that if there's an issue being caused, it isn't by either of us. It isn't by any of the three of us. So I don't have a full view either, I don't think. But it is a talking point. It's enough to talk about here.
We'll have to wait to see.
Yeah,
I think we'll have to see like what they actually do when they talk about like all. I'm sure when they do their eventual 2.1 stream, like I think it's so hard to guesstimate what that's even going to look like, especially with
also give us more info as well.
True.
Yeah. In terms
That's
of
what
like
I'm looking forward
teasers.
to, because we've raised a lot of questions, and hopefully some of these questions will be able to be like, oh, that's something we probably need to touch base on.
Yeah.
Because this comes out before that episode. I'm pretty sure that we have no influence on it, but it'd be nice to be able to. We've said it 3 or 4 times during this episode about 3 or 4 things that are not relative to any of them, saying it would be great to hear more about it. It would be great to have better communication. Yeah. It would be great to be able to explain why. A lot of these things I look forward to. Usually the Moghouse meet, I expect those more so from the Moghouse meetings, because those are like a professional setting, I would say, than drinking with the devs. Drinking with the devs is just your bros, you pop a beer and you just talk what's on your mind kind of deal. Yes. Literally what we do on the podcast. But
cheers. Genitals.
Cheers, genitals.
I'm happy to announce. No, I'm just kidding.
No, and I will say to our listeners, if the opportunity comes up to ask questions for the Drinking with Devs podcast and anything here sparked your interest, throw it in. Because we're not the authority on any of these questions. We have questions as much as you guys do. We have opinions, but ultimately this is a community-driven. Ultimately, this is a community-driven server / project / space to play in, sandbox for us to play in. So obviously, your input is just as valuable as any of ours to what the devs might be up to.
Or so.
And in some cases more so, yeah, because we're too busy
There's
drinking.
a difference between me asking a question and you, viewer, asking a question. They will read yours.
What about Stick Eric? What was the question that didn't get answered on the? We
had 9 people submit the question of how did Stick Eric enjoy Chicago, and they
9. That's it.
We had 9.
DA, because of course they did.
Yeah, well, dude, you can't give me that fucking answer when somebody asks, "Can we transfer our character from Horizon to Phoenix?" and they fucking answer that question.
Go, dude.
You can't say there's a bar on the floor, bro.
Gotta let it go. Every time you bring that up, you're shaving off a year of your life.
One step closer to not having to deal with it anymore.
All right, everybody. So as far as the rest of the stream is concerned, I think it was Dynamis. And then there was those teasers we already mentioned, like Ashu Talif, possibly the question mark stuff. I think it just jumped into the overall Q&A, which had its like maybe moments you might be interested in. But I think on the general, it's something somebody might want to watch. But I don't think we need to necessarily touch on much here. What do you think?
Any question lasted with me? Like I can't think of any.
Yeah, exactly.
I actually Nerf did an incredible job screenshotting everything, and he actually summed up some of the questions. No race change. Stop asking.
Yeah.
Can we touch base on that for a half second?
You get
no. Let me get through these. Let me get through these first, real quick.
All right.
Sunbreeze Festival is coming. No, we're not doing home point traveling. Apparently, Eric said Ashita client will be updated to 4.3 after testing is done.
Yes.
BC add-ons will be updated to 4.3 versions to make sure there are no issues. Eric, Horizon XI will be 75 cap even after the Wings of the Goddess expansion. Correct. So, to answer confirmed. Beastie, major patches will, quote, hopefully, quote, be quarterly to go 3-4 month on average, which we gave compliments about, 3 to 4 months, kind of like a quarterly report. Damaris Chocobo Racing has not been looked at or coded. All things have been taken into priority. Doesn't want to say they won't implement it, but it is currently a very low priority. That's just a quick sum up of those. Go to your touch base of race change.
I know we've talked about it. Just let people race change for like 8 million gil. Who gives a shit? You want a gil sync? Go for it, dude.
I agree.
Change your race as much as you want. I don't care.
Yeah, literally just make it a gill sync. Make it for the rich. Fucking 1% that shit. Literally 1%. Make it like, make it for the 1%. Make it 10 mil, you can change your race. And that's it. Just,
but how would you feel using being like, I'm gonna be Taru for this content, but Mithra for this content? Like, make it go in, dude. I don't care.
Where's the negative?
Tell us down below. Ahead. Would you be happy with a 5 million gil cost? Are you a person out there who really wants to change your race and you don't want to spend 5 million gil? How do you feel? Tell us down below.
What? Why do you give it a thumbs down?
Because I think it's dumb.
Why?
I think, first of all, if you're going to add a race change, you're either going to make it accessible, which I think is dumb. I think having an easy race change, you can just change for the content, as Drew mentioned. I think if you make it expensive, like you just make it like it's something that only the rich can have. And why do that? Like, why reinforce? Just leave leave it alone.
That's why
the rich get poor.
The whole point is having a gill sync, right?
Yeah.
I think,
and if somebody's like, man, I really wish I could change that, they could save up and be able to, run 6 Dynamics a week to be able to save up the money to be able to buy a race change.
We got them. We got them.
Full circle.
I don't see the line of the stand of not allowing it and make it expensive as shit.
Do you see the line in the sand, dear viewer? Let us know in the comments down below. That's going to be it for the end of this episode of Level Sync. It's been a pleasure having Drew on 2 times in a row. Wild. You're the first repeat. Is he the first repeating guest, period?
Oh, back-to-back episodes, yes.
Definitely back-to-back.
You've had Damaris twice?
Oh, we have. Yes. Damaris and Hook have both been on twice.
Yeah. I miss Hookster. If you're watching, shout out.
Dude, Hook hit me up the other day. We had a short chat about some stuff. I know he's involved in retail right now. That's what he's been up to.
Okay.
So if anybody wants an update, he's been enjoying that. But yes, Drew, thanks again for joining us. It was super fun having you in Chicago and all of us in our Airbnb. Some of the best Hunan Chinese food of my life.
The first Hunan Chinese food of my life.
Possibly the first for me as well. But yes, check us out on either Spotify, Apple Music, or YouTube podcasts, wherever you find your podcasts. Share this one with your friends. And join us, the 3 of us plus in ToAU, because we will not have another episode out until after ToAU's release, DA.
You can meet me at the dock.
You can meet DA at the dock. Go ahead and photobomb DA's dock stream. I think photobombing DA's dock stream will be a lot of fun. I'm personally planning to do that already. Enjoy your time out there, friends. Why am I holding on to this lamppost?
This is the worst closing ever. Keep it going. Come on.
No, it's good. We got this. And it's been a wild ride on Horizon, but we're here. We're moving into ToAU, one of the coolest expansions of all time. And we'll see you guys there. So make sure to wave and say hello to Drew and myself, DA Soccer, and we'll see you guys in the next episode. Peace out, everybody. Bye.
Bye.